and they have believed that thou didst send me.
So there's a difference before these people we getting ready to read in verse 9. Because you can compare the disciples to the Sadducees and Pharisees. He said, these are the ones that you gave me that do believe me, and that you sent me, and that I am of you and you are of me. They believe that. That's who I'm praying for. So, in like manner, isn't he praying for us that we have the same belief, that we know that we be included in that prayer? Don't you want to be included in it? That's right. Read on.
I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me. For they are thine, and all mine are thine, and thine are mine, and I am glorified in them. And now I am no more in the world, but these are in the world. And I come to thee, Holy Father, keep through thine own name those whom thou hast given me, that they may be one as we are.
So that he said, I'm coming back to the crib and I'm leaving them, Pops. Take care of them. For me, Father, I'm praying for them, for you to take care of them, because I'm going to leave them here in the world. And that you keep them together, like you and me are together. That's right. See that? Keep them together, Father, like you and me together. Because we had already heard what they said. Who's going to be greatest? As soon as he leaves, who's going to be the greatest? Their mind was already off. But he prayed for them. Keep them together, Father. Let's keep reading.
12. While I was with them in the world, I kept them in thy name. Those that thou gavest me, I have kept, and none of them is lost, but the son of perdition, that the scripture might be fulfilled.
Now, if I go off on the son of perdition, it's going to be a whole other class. So, what he said, all of them 12 that you didn't give me, kept them all, except that one. That the scriptures might be fulfilled. See, here I go. We go back to Adam, and we see that Christ died for Adam. He rose 3 days later. He went back to the grave and got Adam. He ended that 5.5 days. Okay? But he said that I kept them that you gave me while I was here. Because he took care of Adam. But he came down here to do his job. It wasn't that Adam sinned and then a few people was born that killed the Messiah, because he had to die, so it had to be that way. So this is where when people say you were born to die, no. That saying born to die, we use it as that he was just a no good ass nigga. All he did was wrong. And he died. He was born for that. No, he had a chance that he didn't choose to take. But there is a difference between this. It's because of sin. Purely because of Satan and sin, Christ having to come back and correct that. Right? So Christ correcting that, to correct it, it had to go. He had to die for it. So if you look at the people who accused him of dying, you can say, no, were they born to die for that? Were they used as the day? Were they born for that purpose, to condemn the Messiah and sentence him to death to fulfill a promise that he had to do? No, them people really hated him. There's the difference. There is the difference. He died by the hands of people who truly hated him. Not that this had to go through like it was supposed to do. That's why these wicked people, that before the foundation of the world was, they was there for that. But that was on them. We see two of them that rolled with them that came out from that. Nicodemus and Joseph. They say, let Allah be with him in his kingdom. So they saw the truth and stepped away and said, hey, this thing with that, y'all. We rolling over here now. See. Read.
Verse 13. And now come I to thee, and these things I speak in the world.
That was it, 13 where we stopped. Hebrews 11. All. So now we get into the heart of the class.
Everybody here? Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1.
Y'all, we know that this book is a living, breathing book. And y'all see today that we go through scripts all around and we read the same scriptures a lot, right? But each time, Brother Ish called me the other night when I was reading this Hebrews 11. I said, man, I'm reading this Hebrews 11 like I ain't never read it before. But that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to be that. It's supposed to be sitting there next to your bed breathing. It's a living, breathing book. It is the bread of life, and you open it up and eat from it. Matthew 4:4, eat not on bread alone, but every word that proceeded out of the mouth of God. That's what that's But this is why we are supposed to, when we stay in this and we see stuff, the Holy Spirit brings things into reminder, it brings things up and say, I ain't never looked at this like this, or I ain't seen it like this. And I don't remember this. That's what it's supposed to do. So let's keep going. Hebrews 11, verse 1.
Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
Now stop just right there. You know where we're going in this with faith. But y'all keep this in mind that this is the faith of all these people, or lack thereof. Okay? But this is what's driving this. This is why we're here today. That verse 1, that faith that we have, that's why we're here today. Because we have hope for the thing that we ain't seen that they see. That's why we're here. We hope to see what they saw. So that's why we do what we do to get to them. You know.
Through faith, we understand that the world is framed by the word of God, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. By faith, Abel offered unto Yahweh a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous. Yahweh testified of his gift, and by it, he being dead yet speaking.
That was his blood crying out. When the Lord said, I hear his blood crying out, he said, though he be him dead, yet he speaks. Yeah. All right. You know.
By faith, Enoch was translated, that he should not see death, and was not found, because Yahweh had translated him. For before his translation, he had this testimony, that he pleased Yahweh.
Okay, so we see right here, see this Hebrews 11 we're going through, we're doing this, what this 11 did for me, would sum up these brothers that I didn't have to go and tell all their individual stories. I was like, oh, thank you, Lord, for that. All I got to do is mention them. And then we're going to see, because I want to show some other people that we don't always see that were faithful. Okay? So, Enoch, we saw in the 5.5 days class when Christ went to get Adam out of hell, and they was on the way to paradise. If y'all remember, Adam said to Enoch and Elisha, who is y'all? He the first man that died. Adam was the very first man that died, the first man that was created. I won't say the first man, I said it wrong. Adam was being the first man that was ever created. So when Christ went and got him, he had never met Enoch and Elijah. But Adam said, I've been down here 5,500 years. I ain't never met you. All our people are together that are his people. And he's going to take us to paradise and we meet you on the way. Where you been? He said, we didn't take that yet. There was no need for us to go down there yet. Where you been, we still got to go. Because we're going to have to taste that death. Okay, that's why Adam didn't know him, because he wasn't in the grave. Both of them. Right? Read on.
Verse 6. But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to Yahweh must believe that he is, and that he is the rewarder of them that diligently seek him. By faith, Noah being warned of Yahweh of things not seen, as yet moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by the which he condemned the world and became heir of the righteousness which is by faith.
Okay, so the only thing right here, because we're going to look at a couple of verses on Noah about the same exact thing though. It's going to be a second witness. It's not going to be the story. It's going to be the beginning of it, of why what we just read. But see, the thing, the key here about Noah, we said by faith with fear. The Lord said he's going to destroy the world. Build a boat, get your family ready. Did you think he just said, okay, Lord? All right, well, you say what now? It's going to be how much? And I need this. And then, how many cubes again? All right, okay. No, I said about fear. Noah got busy. Go ahead, brother.
This translation says reverent fear.
Yeah, see, that's a different translation, but that still fits. Right. Because that's what I'm expounding on. Right. That fear that he had. He didn't say, all right, Lord, I'll do it. No, he said, hammer the nail, let's get busy.
That's right.
We got an ark to build. All right, read on.
Verse 8. By faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed and went out, not knowing whither he went. By faith he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise.
See, say it real quick. See, so that verse said all three of them. By faith Abraham did this, and he dwelled with Isaac and Jacob of the what? Same promise. The same promise. The same promise that the Most High made, covenant, he made with them three individually. All three of them, by their faith, proved themselves to him. Okay? They proved themselves to him. And they dwelled together. Read on.
Verse 10. For you look for a city which has foundation, whose builder and maker is Yahweh. Through faith also, Sarah herself received strength to conceive seed, and was delivered of a child when she was past age, because she judged him faithful who had promised.
Okay, now let's look at this real quick. You see that Sarah laughed, right? She laughed. But we see her faith. She laughed because, yeah, I'm 90 years old. Should I have a baby? Go ahead.
But you when God gave the promise, she was 65.
Right. Right.
So it took 12 years for the blessing to manifest.
Right. And see, when he told her it was going to happen, like you said, it was a period of time. So there's faith first, And there's also long suffering in that. There's also long suffering because we are the ones that ask, Lord, how long? Nigga, when? When? I want it now. Like Adam. I want back in the garden. Now. Not 5 days and a half. I want it now. I want back in now. Okay, read on.
Verse 12. Therefore sprang there even of one, and him as good as dead, so many as the stars of the sky in multitude, and as the sand which is by the seashore innumerable. These all died in faith, not having received the promise, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. For they that say such things declare plainly that they seek a country.
So they were nomads and was just seeking for their own place to stay. All right, read on.
And truly, if they had been mindful of that country from which they came out, they might have had opportunity to have returned. But now they desire a better country that is in heaven. Wherefore Yahweh is not ashamed to be called their Father, for he has prepared for them a city. By faith, Abraham, when he was tired, offered up Isaac. When he was tried, offered up Isaac. And he that had received the promises offered up his only begotten son, of whom it was said that in Isaac shall thy seed be called.
Okay, now remember this. Hold up. Let's stop right here where it says, because this is free on that mountain, where we're at right now. That by faith Abraham offered up Isaac, in which it was said that thy seed shall be called. But at this point, he like this, right? At this point, Abraham is like this with a knife in his hand. This is where my seed is supposed to come from. And I'm getting ready to sacrifice him. At this point, Abraham is holding that knife. Read that again and read on. Section 17.
Yeah.
By faith, Abraham, when he was tried, offered up Isaac, and he that had received the promise offered up his only begotten son, of whom it was said that in Isaac shall thy seed be called, accounting that Yahweh was able to raise him up, even from the dead, from whence also he received them in a figure.
Now, you see that?
Mm-hmm.
This is what I mean by reading this Hebrews 11. And this time he showed it to me like this, because this is the same thing of a human going to be sacrificed, right? But he said that the Lord told me that in Isaac my seed is going to be called, but I'm getting ready to kill him. But my faith in the Lord is that it can only be one other thing. He's going to raise him back up from the dead. That's the only way I'm going to have seed out of him. If I'm going to kill him, that it can't be nothing else. But he just stop and say, okay, this is going to be easy. Die, Isaac, I'm going to get you back. I'm going to get you back. You know what I'm saying? He didn't say that. He said by faith, the only way it can be is he going to bring him back to him. All right, y'all see that? And who died and rose again? And he said that, well, I know that he can do this with my son. He didn't get to see it done with his son. You know,
Verse 20. By faith Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come. By faith Jacob, when he was dying, blessed both the sons of Joseph and worship, leaning upon the top of his staff. By faith, Joseph, when he died, made mention of the departing of the children of Israel and gave commandments concerning his bones. By faith, Moses, when he was born, was hid 3 months of his parents because they saw he was a prophet child, and they were not afraid of the king's command.
So when Moses was born, his parents knew who he was. King can't get this one. We hid him. King can't get this one. So that was their faith because they knew. Read on.
By faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer affliction of the people of the house than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season.
So just like Nicodemus and Joseph, by faith, Moses was in the Pharaoh's house. Moses was the vice president of, you look at it like this, of this country. He in the White House. But Moses say, no, none of my people in the White House. My people in the ghettos and in the hood. And I'm going to take off this business 3-piece suit that they wear in the White House. And I'm going to put on some garb with my people. And I'm going to go live with my people. He walked away from all that by faith. Moses said, forget all this luxury. And these chariots sitting on I'll catch a bus. I'll be with my people. And he walked away from all that. Let's read on.
Verse 26, esteeming the reproach of Christ greater riches than the treasures in Egypt, for he had respect unto the recompense of the reward. By faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured as seeing him who is invisible. Though through faith, he kept the Passover and the sprinkling of blood, lest he that destroyed be firstborn should touch it. By faith, he passed through the Red Sea as by dry land, which the Egyptians had saying to do were drowned. By faith, the walls of Jericho fell down after they were compassed about 7 days. By faith, the harlot Rahab perished not with them that believed not, when she had received the spies of peace.
So here's a faithful person that we know is not an Israelite, but she's included in the faith of our fathers. Y'all see that? She's included. What she did was so important that she is, what's up, Hebrew? She is included with the faith of our fathers. And she is Gentile. Read on.
Verse 32. And what shall I more say? For the time will fail me to tell you of Gideon and of Barak, and of Simeon, and of Samson, and of Jephthah, of David also, and Samuel, and of the prophets, who through faith subdued kingdoms, wrought righteousness, obtained promises, stopped the mouths of lions, quenched the violence of the fire, escaped the edge of the sword, out of weakness were made strong, waxed valiant in fight, turned to fight the armies of the aliens. Woman received their dead raised to life again, and others were tortured, not accepting deliverance, that they might obtain a better resurrection.
Saying those ones that were tortured, they didn't say, okay, stop torturing me to end the pain. They said, no, keep torturing me so I can get this deliverance. See that?
Yeah.
That's their faith. Torture, not accepting deliverance. That they may obtain a better resurrection. They know they're going to rise, but where they going to go? They say they doing this, that they get a better resurrection. Read on.
Verse 36. And others had trial of cruel mockings and scourgings, yea, moreover of bonds and imprisonment. They were stoned, they were sawn asunder, were tempted, were slain with the sword. They wandered about in sheepskins and goatskins, being destitute, afflicted, tormented, of whom the world was not worthy. They wandered in deserts and in mountains and in dens, caves of the earth. And these all, having obtained a good report through faith, received not the promise. Yahweh having provided some better thing for us, that they without us should not be made perfect.
Wait a minute. You did what now?
That they without us should not be made perfect.
God having provided some better thing for us. There's another comparison right there. For those that are us, that are his, he says he's provided some better thing for us. That they without us should not be made perfect. There's another comparison. Righteousness and unrighteousness. There's a people that are his people, and there's a people that ain't his people. Ain't his people. And that's what all of what we're looking at today is and ain't. And these different levels. Because we just saw that he said that all these people that look, and we wandered around in sheepskins and goatskins, being destitute. Any of us around here been destitute, afflicted, tormented like these people? Many of us would say that we've experienced these things like they say here. When they say they did these things, we obtained a better resurrection. That's to get me to wake up at a better resurrection. Then immediately being tormented, at least I got a chance. Because if I got a chance at this better resurrection, that means that I got a chance to. That's a better resurrection. All these things that we're doing right now is supposed to be for us to have a better resurrection. When we come up out of this, when that time comes, this time, that we have a better resurrection. Read on. Or is that it? All right, let's hit Genesis 3, 14 through the end. Then we're going to hit Genesis 6, 8, 13.
Right, probably show. Then look, I got the phone like 16 or 2 of them again. I turn that down.
I'll be taking time. They be gone. We'll be reading in the book of Genesis. Yeah, I am. Reading in the book of Genesis, chapter 3. We'll start our reading at around verse 14. Everybody there? Get some understanding, family. And the Most High Yah said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life.
Well, right now, we're at the beginning of now, for the rest of this class, we're going to be looking at people. So right now, we're just looking at Adam and Eve. And them being
Genesis 3:14. Genesis 3:14.
Okay, but we see, that he created. So read down.
Verse 15. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
So we saw Satan got his punishment. The Lord told him, I will put enmity between your seed and her seed. So we see Eve get her punishment of what's going to happen between her, with her. Read on.
Verse 17. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground. For out of it wast thou taken. For dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return. And Adam called his wife's name Eve, because she was the mother of all living. Unto Adam also, and to his wife, did the Most High Yah make coats of skin, and clothed them. And the Most High Yah said, behold, the man is become as one of us, to know good and evil.
There it is.
And now, lest he put forth his hand, and take also of the tree of life, and eat, and live forever.
So right there, when the Most High is saying, behold, the man has become like one of us, knowing good and evil. That was the only thing that there was a comparison. Because we're going to see right here in the same sentence. He said, behold, the man has become like one of us, knowing good and evil. And he says, now that he know that, he's separated from us. He's on his own now to do what he has to do. Because he didn't have to do nothing. But now that he knows, like us, he say, unless you take hold of the tree of life. There's a difference. There's still a free will there. Now that you've done that, it's on you to get back to me. It's on you to get back to me. And that's where it started. And that's where we are, trying to get back to him, taking hold of the tree of life, taking hold of our Messiah to get back to him, to the Father. Read on.
Verse 23. Therefore, the Most High Yah sent him forth from the Garden of Eden to till the ground from whence he was taken.
Okay, now Adam has to till this ground. I'm going to say that, but you're going to see. Read on.
So he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubim and a flaming sword, which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life.
All right, so it's flip to 6 and 8 through 13. So we left off with Adam, unless he takes hold of the tree of life, and we know that now he must till the ground, and the ground must give forth its yield for him to harvest from. This is work now that he has to do. Adam, if you don't do this to the ground and plant you some crops and raise you something to eat, nigga, you're going to starve. Because I fed you. Now I'm still going to have to keep feeding you. No. Now you got to work to eat. Because I gave you the bread of life. Now you got to work. You don't plant these crops. Because I'm going to make the ground give forth its yield for you. But if you don't put that work in, you're going to starve them. Bottom line, I done did it. That's what you tell your children. You give them a chance, and they mess up, and then you say, now you got to. Right? Now you got to. Read on.
Reading in the book of Genesis, in the 6th chapter, starting on reading in verse 8, and it reads, But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Most High. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generation, and Noah walked with Yahweh. And Noah begot 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth also was corrupt before Yahweh, and the earth was filled with violence, as it is today. And Yah looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. And Yah said unto Noah, The end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth.
Okay, so it got that bad that the Lord said, start over. Watch your way. These niggas is too out of control. I got to end all this. Right. I got to end all this. But y'all know what, though? It says that when Noah came out of the ark, and the earth then began to multiply and replenish the earth, you know what it says right after that? They became more evil than it was. If it was that evil for him to destroy it then, and it's more evil once they got back busy to make enough people to multiply evil. You see what I'm saying? Once they had enough more people to make evil again, and it's worse now than it was before. Read on. We had the book of Jonah, chapter 1 all and 2 all. Right now, the people that we're looking at are the examples of they're messing up, disobeying the Lord, and He giving them another chance, and they get it right.
Right with the book of John, chapter 1, verse 1. Now the word of the Lord came unto John, the son of Amittai, saying, Arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and cry against it, for their wickedness is come up before me. But Jonah rose up to flee unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord, and went down to Joppa, and he found a ship going to Tarshish. So he paid the fare thereof, and went down into it, to go with them unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord.
All right, so what's the difference here in the verse 1 about Nineveh, that city that cried against it because their wickedness had become so great? What's the difference between Nineveh and Sodom and Gomorrah? Anyone? What's the difference between the city of Nineveh and the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah?
Well, the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah were sexually perverted.
Yeah.
You know,
There's
another difference.
One distinct difference. What you
there's
got?
another distinction.
Yeah. That's it right there.
What was it?
Repent.
Yeah.
Starts
Okay.
out. The Lord told Jonah, go to Nineveh.
Mhm.
They tripping,
Mhm.
but I'm gonna give them a chance. See that? Sodom and Gomorrah, it was a new piece.
All right. I got you.
All right. So, and when we read that verse 2, that he had, when Jonah rose up and flee to Tarshish from the presence of the Lord, he went down to Joppa. Anybody know who live in Joppa? Just showing y'all the correlations of like we know East St. Louis and Belden Village and Delwood and Jennings. The differences, y'all know how we know those differences. So look in here right here. Who lived in Joppa that we know?
And then Cornelius.
That's right.
Cornelius.
Cornelius in Acts chapter 10.
Right. He had to send men to job.
The angel sent the Lord to Peter, and he said, go to some men in Joppa.
Mm-hmm.
That's so y'all see, just tying that in. We just doing geography. So where Jonah was running is where Cornelius lived. That's all that is, y'all.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Just to make y'all see that. You understand?
Okay.
When y'all seen Joppa, you should have said automatically, yeah, that's where Cornelius lived. Just like that. All right, keep reading.
Verse 4. But the Lord sent out a great wind into the sea, and there was a mighty tempest in the sea, so that the ship was like to be broken. Then the mariners were afraid, and cried every man unto his God, and cast forth the wares that were in the ship into the sea.
Real quick, y'all, I want y'all to understand this. Like, when we're reading this, it happened like that. It happened like that. It's like if I said, Lord, right now in front of everybody, lift this cup up and let him see it and set it back down. And he did it right then, just like that. It happened like this. So when you see these people call this and say this and do that, it happened like that. Keep reading.
Verse 5 reads, Then the mariners were afraid, and cried every man unto his God, and cast forth the wares that were in the ship into the sea, to lighten it of them.
So these, y'all understand right here that it said every man they cried to his God, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just as that example, we know that there are different faiths today that these people believed in, not the same faith as theirs. What I'm saying is that these are different gods that are known that these men cried unto, that we know different gods that I don't even like to say it. But there's different things out here that people worship, and they call them gods. But at this time, it's a group of people together, and all of them are calling on their gods.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all in the same place. It's as if we were on a cruise ship. And the wind is going on like that, and you got us as a family in there, and you got them other people who believe in other gods on the same boat. And we're all being tossed, and we call on the Messiah. So, by them being, just imagine us being together and looking at somebody calling on Buddha. For this, for this, really? Here go you and Buddha over the side. Okay? But the point is, y'all understand that these are people that are together, and you see that they are calling on their God. That's a reason why they do that. Let's read.
But Jonah was gone down into the sides of the ship, and he lay and was fast asleep. So the shipmaster came to him and said unto him, What meanest thou, O sleeper? Arise, call upon thy God, if so be that God will think upon us, that we perish not.
So now they done called on all their gods, and they just realized there's nothing they can hear on this ship. And he down there asleep like a mug. Sleep. And he go down there and call on your God. We done tried all this. We done threw all on. And you are another option that's left that we didn't know. And oh, wait a minute, here we go. That's like finding a map book in your glove compartment back in the day that you forgot you had and you lost. There's another option right here. And there was Jonah, that other option. Get your tail up out here and call on your God. It might work. What you got?
That was fight. That's deep right there. They deny they fight. They fight just like this.
Wait till you get the whole representative.
We're going to see what happens. Because it's coming.
All right. Where we at?
Verse 7. And they said, every one to his fellow, come and let us cast lots, that we may know for whose cause this evil is upon us. So they cast lots, and the lot fell upon Jonah.
So now check this out. They shoot dice. Snake eyes. Jonah. Y'all see that? They just casted lots, and that lot fell on Jonah, which was supposed to be anyway, though. But when you roll the dice, the odds is what I'm talking about. How are the odds that they fell on Jonah? But they were supposed to. Because all of this is showing the Most High. Read on.
Verse 8. Then said they unto him, tell us, we pray thee, for whose cause this evil is upon us? What is thine occupation? And whence comest thou? What is thy country? And of what people art thou?
They don't know nothing about Jonah, right? What kind of nigga is this? Where you come from? What you do? Where you work? What have you done to cause this to call upon us? You have done something. Read on.
And he said unto them, I am a Hebrew.
He's a who?
I am a Hebrew, and I fear the Lord.
He feared him so much he ran from him. He feared him so much he ran from him. Keep reading.
The God of heaven, which have made the sea and the dry land. Then were the men exceedingly afraid, and said unto him, why hast thou done this? For the men knew that he fled from the presence of the Lord, because he had told them.
So that conversation was longer than what we just read. So Jonah fessed it up to him. Yeah, the Lord told me to do something. Told me to go down to Nineveh and scream at them people about their unrighteousness, but I didn't want to do it, and I fled. Okay? I didn't want to do it. And I fled. Read on.
Then said they unto him, what shall we do unto thee, that the sea may be calm unto us? For the sea wrought and was tempestuous.
All right, y'all. Tempestuous.
Tempestuous.
I ain't even
Tempestuous.
Now check this out now. Here's the difference now. Jonah knew what he did, and he knew he was wrong for it. What Jonah's going to say, we have to be able to say. We have to be able to say this not only to the Most High and His only begotten Son, because those are who we trip against, right? But we also have loved ones and family that are in the faith. And we also have to be just as righteous people to acknowledge our mistakes first. To acknowledge our mistakes first. When y'all remember when Joseph came home and he found that Mary was pregnant, the first thing he said was what? He examined himself. Did I do anything wrong for this to happen? Even though I wasn't here, did I do anything wrong for what I was given charge to do? So Jonah was given charge to go to Nineveh. And he fled. So now let's read and see what happened. We have to do this. We have to be this Jonah. Read.
Verse 12. And he said unto them, take me up and cast me forth into the sea. So shall the sea be calm unto you. For I know that for my sake the great tempest is upon you.
Now, that'd have been me.
He had to be in the spirit.
I'd have been like, take me up,
Right.
cast me over,
He had to be
then
in
I'm
the spirit.
falling that boat that's hanging on the side. Because I ain't going in that water. I'm scared of water. Okay? But you see that, even if he was like me, scared of water, it don't show how far they was out in the sea. It don't say that there was land over there that you can swim back to. Just void y'all keep the money for a ticket. I'm just throw me over there and I'm gonna swim on back over there, and y'all go about y'all business. Right? It don't say how far they were out in the sea. And he said, cast me over, whether he could swim or not. Like I said, hey, you gotta have faith. You gotta know you was wrong. You gotta say, Lord, I'll give up my life for trick against you.
Right.
Throw me into the sea.
Right.
I'm still saying, I'll just be praying the rest of the way. If you calm the sea down, I can get you caught in the sea. All right? I'm scared of water like that. Read on.
Verse 13. Nevertheless, the men rowed hard to bring it to the land, but they could not, for the sea rocked. What sea rocked? For the sea rocked and was tempestuous against it. Wherefore they cried unto the Lord and said, We beseech thee, O Lord, we beseech thee, let us not perish for this man's life, and lay not upon us innocent blood. For thou, O Lord, hast done as it pleased thee. Read that one more time. 14. Verse 14. Wherefore they cried unto the Lord and said, We beseech thee, O Lord, we beseech thee, let us not perish for this man's life, and lay not upon us innocent blood. For thou, O Lord, hast done as it pleased thee.
Who is that crying out?
The men who were calling other gods.
Right.
Now they're calling.
Right.
So he also
Y'all see
converted
that?
some people.
They ain't throw them over yet. They ain't heard Jonah pray yet.
No.
They ain't heard Jonah say, Oh
They ain't
Lord,
heard
in
say
your son's
nothing.
name, let this sea be calm right now. They ain't heard Jonah say nothing yet. They told him to come out here and call on his God. We ain't seen him say nothing. He said, throw me over the side. Now they rowing, trying to get the boat to settle down, still can't get it to do it. And they did what? They called on the Lord. These people didn't believe in him. These people didn't know nothing about him. These people say, today's the day. Today is the day. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Today the day. Yes, Lord. Right, read on.
Verse 15. So they took up Jonah and cast him forth into the sea, and the sea ceased from her raging.
See that? Remember I was telling y'all like that? Pow, happened like that? Splash, look in the water. See come down. That's the end of the problems. And what does that do for them now? Increase their new faith. Their new faith that he showed up like that. He showed up just like that. They called on his name. Look at my new followers. Yeah, I got you. Throw that nigga over on the side for disobeying me. See that? Read on.
Verse 16. Then the men feared the Lord exceedingly, and offered a sacrifice unto the Lord, and made vows.
On the boat. Read on. Huh? There's times when people know things that are not that they would say, I don't know what it takes, but I heard that you like sacrifice. So I'm gonna take this bologna sandwich and burn it up to you because you like sacrifices. I know that's what you like. I got to do this. There's times when people on the outside that
Right,
don't know.
right. Hurt people
Don't
along
tell
the
you,
right.
I don't know if I'm doing it the right way, Lord, but accept this.
Spirit.
Accept this. Because we trying, because you're going to see throughout these always that there's everybody else know who we are. Whether you worship another God or not, just like the soldiers during the trial of Christ. They said, we worship the gods in the temple. Who is he to us? He don't mean nothing to us. But they know who he was. Like Pilate broke down our history to the Sadducees and Pharisees, and he tell them, this. Every time you get in trouble, you call on your God and he forgive you. And then you trip again. And then he call on him again, and he forgive you again. It's the same cycle. But everybody else, just like we read about old girl, Rahab, she's on the outside. But her faith got her included in the list of our forefathers. When the Messiah told Veronica, when she reached out and touched the hem of his garment, he told her, I said, I ain't found no greater faith. Where? And who? All of what? Us. All of us. An outsider. He said that. That puts us right down. She's right above us.
Well, what the sacrifice?
That was the faith. He said, I ain't found no greater faith. It was their faith. It was their way, brother. Not a purpose.
No.
He said, because of this, you're going to forget. Because of this curse that you've been put under. Because of, we done came back to us to understand everything it is about that's who we are. By us learning who we are. And still go out and try to tell them that's what that curse still is. Right. They ain't gonna hear it. Right.
What I'm saying is, what you were just saying about everything we got in trouble, like Pharaoh said, we got in trouble, we go back to college, got in so this last thing,
Right, they got us here.
right. This time we got a river right, so there'll be some big and clean before this is over.
Right.
You going through it.
Right. We're gonna have to come out of here for that big and clean come. When we get separated in the wilderness. We still got to come out of Egypt again. Because we still living amongst a bunch of things. Okay? But we got to come up out of here again and be separated again. Where that broken off branch is going to be tossed off to the left. You know, so let's keep this going. We got a lot of people to look at. What year?
Verse 17.
Verse 17. Now the Lord had prepared a great fish to swallow up Jonah. And Jonah was in the belly of the fish 3 days and 2 nights.
Okay, right here, Matthew 12, through 40, 16, and 4. That's when the Messiah said, y'all looking for a sign. Both of those verses, he said, one of them he says that the sign would be like the sign of Jonah.
Right.
3 days and 3 nights of Jonah in the belly of the whale, so shall the Son of Man be in the earth. So that's the sign. He said, so that was the sign that was given. So right there, what we just read, that's when he was talking about that. Y'all already had a sign. Y'all already had a sign about me coming. Jonah, 3 days, just like he did, that's what I'm going to do. All right? So, 2.
Chapter 2, verse 1. Then Jonah prayed unto the Lord his God out of the fish belly, and said, I cried by reason of my affliction unto the Lord. And he heard out of the belly of hell cried I, and thou heardest my voice.
So out of the belly of hell, out of the belly of the grave, that's where he's saying he was. And I cried unto him, heard my affliction, and he delivered me. Because it was he who put himself in that situation in the first place, right?
Right.
And he said it, and he acknowledged it. Lord, I tripped. I'm sorry. The Lord said, I forgive you. You come out. Now I need to get to work. Do what I told you to do. Read on.
Verse 3. For thou hast cast me into the deep, in the midst of the seas, and the floods compassed me about. All thy billows and thy waves passed over me. Then I said, I am cast out of thy sight. Yet I will look again toward thy holy temple.
So he said to himself that he was casted out of the sight of the Lord. Because he knew that it was him that got himself casted away. But he said, even though in my casting out state, I'm going to look to the temple of the Lord. If the Lord was done dealing with Jonah, and Jonah said, but I'm still going to be with you until you forgive. See, it didn't work that way. He didn't have to do that. He asked and he forgave him. But he said, in that state that I was in, because I tripped, I looked to you. Read on.
The waters compassed me about, even to the soul. The death closed me round about. The weeds were wrapped about my head.
In his stomach, wasn't it? Seaweed all around his head. This wasn't no like the cartoons. Oh, Lord, I remember that. This wasn't like the cartoons that we see that he's sitting in there on a whale's tongue with a little fire, roasting marshmallows and hot dogs. You know what I'm saying? That's what they show us in the cartoons. He's sitting right there on the tongue with a little campfire. Just sitting there chilling. No, this wasn't that. We just read and said he was wrapped up in seaweed. 3 days and 3 nights. That's longer than a weekend, y'all. Right. For y'all to get off work and then have to be back at work that Monday, he spent his weekend in the belly of a whale. Read on.
Verse 6. I went down to the bottoms of the mountain. The earth with her bars was about me forever. Yet hast thou brought up my life from corruption, O Lord my God. When my soul fainted within me, I remembered the Lord, and my prayer came in unto thee, into thy holy temple. They that observe lying vanity forsake their own works, but I will sacrifice unto thee with the voice of thanksgiving. I will pay that I have vowed. Salvation is of the Lord. And the Lord spake unto the fish, and it vomited out Jonah upon the dry land.
All right, so y'all see that right there now. So Jonah knew, and he accepted. Police pull you over. You ran a red light. Yep. So did. Yeah, let me take it. Yeah. See you. What that officer gonna say? Hey, I ain't got to make nobody take. Give me a ticket. Right. Because he knew he did wrong. Right. How much is the fine, officer? I'm gonna go pay. I tripped. I ran a red light. Yes. Give me my ticket. We do that? No. Do we acknowledge our transgressions like that? Oh, we supposed to. But we also don't bring on like you. All right. What you got?
This was a cab driver, most high had the wheel to sit him out right in the town where he supposed to be in the first place to go see the story.
Yeah. Yeah. We gonna make it, my brother. We never. Thanks for bringing that out. Y'all heard that? Y'all heard that? The wheel took him to where he needed to go.
He's supposed to be in the first place.
Hallelujah. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. That's what it's supposed to be, y'all. That's what it's supposed to be. That's one body. So now we're going to look at. I'm not going to go. We were going to do Nicodemus and Joseph in the book of Nicodemus 9, verse 1 through 6. Just going to show that both of them said, yeah, we're going to roll with Christ. They walked away from what they was doing, being the Sadducees and Pharisees. That's who they rolled with. But when it came down to it, yeah, we take our lot with him and his kingdom. All right, so just to show those two people were some new people. So I want to hit, we want to jump right in the book of Judith and the Apocrypha. We're reading just chapter 6 all, and chapter 14, 1 through 10. This is, I got a lot of love for this cat. He's an outsider, Gentile. Well, no, I said that wrong. He's from Ammon. So just as an understanding of giving a visual of who this is, if I'm correct.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Japanese cat. Ammonite, Ammon and Moab. From the daughters of Lot. When they came out of Sodom and Gomorrah, they had 2 children. His daughters had 2 sons by him. The first son's name was Ammon. The second son's name was Moab. And we have talked to Chinese people that acknowledge the fact that they are Moabites, like Ruth was in the scripture. Okay, so I'm just saying it's purely to have a cat picture in your mind of what he looked like. Only guessing. Japanese. They still come from us. There's no 13th tribe for him. But it's being a descendant, bloodline. Right? Book of Judah, chapter 6, all. Then 14, 1 through 18.
And brother, can you explain how that actually happened? When the city of Solomon, that the mom had sex with
Their father, yes. It's because, since you mentioned it, I got to say it. It's because they thought they were the last people. Let me say it like this and back it right up. After the destruction that they see, let's give credit to where credit is due. After the destruction that they witnessed, that the Most High did on their hometown, they thought they were the last people on the earth. So that's why they said, we have to have children through our father to replenish the earth. Like coming out of the garden, when the Lord put them in the garden, he said, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. There was no other people there. They thought at this time that there was no other people. That's why they did that. They didn't have the hots for their dad. They just thought the word their mama was gone. They just lost their mama. The rest of their brothers and sisters went up in smoke. Okay? So, Judah chapter 6, verse 1. Now, like I said, this cat has a special, it's just because it's an outsider. That's all I got. Just like those cats on the boat, they were outsiders. They got included into the story for just being there. They showed up in the readings of the class. Like, here's somebody else. So just like them cats on the boat, they cried out to the Lord. No, let's go.
Book of Jonah, chapter 6, verse 1. I'm sorry, Judah. And when the tumult of men that were about the council would cease, Holofernes, the chief captain of the army of the sword, said unto Achior, and all the Moabites, before all the company of the nation.
So I gotta tell you, I was doing all that talking, I could have just reiterated ahead and broke down where we at. This was a time when we were, the city of our people at the time was getting ready to be going to war against. And all of our men, elders, had yellow drawers on. They were scared. And our sister Judith spoke up and checked them. And then she went out on her own and handled this business by herself. So y'all know we got our strong women. This is what we talking about. She went out on her own and took care of this by the grace of the Most High who rose her. So let's keep reading.
Verse 2. Who art thou, Achior, as a hireling of Ephraim, that thou hast prophesied against us as today, and hast said that we should not make war with the people of Israel, because their God will defend them.
That's right.
And who is God of Nebuchadnezzar?
Okay, so Achior is with these people. And they talk about going to war against us, and they just say, no, y'all don't do that. Just like when the king's advisors advised them not to go to war against Jacob and his 12 sons, Achior is that same advisor telling them, no, sorry, y'all won't do that. You're not going to mess with them. And they are like, nigga, who is you? Edom became one man. By him speaking up, Edom became one man that was by himself. Keep reading.
He will send his power and will destroy them from the face of the earth. And there their house will not deliver them. But we, his servants, will destroy them as one man. But they are not able to sustain the power of our horses. For with them we will tread them underfoot, and their mountains shall be drunken with their blood, and their fields shall be filled with the crew with their dead bodies, and their footsteps shall not be able to stand before us, for they shall utterly perish, says King Nebuchadnezzar, Lord of all the earth. For he said, none of my words shall be in vain.
So this cat thought he was God. So that's how strong he is. There ain't none other than him. Okay? That's who he's saying. I'm God of the earth. So he God of the earth. And what are these people to him? That's his attitude. Please. Really? Me? I'm God of the earth. And watch how I get down. You know.
Verse 5. And now Achior, the hireling of Anna, which has spoken these words in the day of thine iniquity, shall see my face no more from this day until I take vengeance on this nation that came out of Egypt. And then shall the sword of mine mark, and the multitude of them that serve me pass through the side, and thou shalt fall among their slain when I return.
So 5 and 6, just in that 5, he acknowledged the fact that these are the people that came out of Egypt. So he knows who they are.
Right.
He knows exactly who they are. So by him knowing who they are, what is he saying?
You don't care.
He's greater than they God.
Mm.
I'm God of the earth. Right. I know these niggas that came out of Egypt. That don't mean nothing to me. And because you like them, Achior, when I put them down, you going down with them. Going down with them, nigga. You going down with them. Since you like them so much. Since you gonna stand up here before me.
Tell me I should.
Nigga, who is you?
Right.
Achior stood on him. Read.
Verse 7. Now therefore my servant shall bring thee back into the hill country, and shall set thee in one of the cities of the pasture, and thou shalt not perish till thou be destroyed with them.
He said, I'm gonna put you up and hold you till I get done. Then I'm gonna kill you. After I show you what I did to them, then you're going down with them. You know.
And if thou persuade thyself in thy mind, they shall be taken. Shall not be taken.
That shall not be
And if
taken.
thou persuade thyself in thy mind that they shall be taken,
You're not in it.
You got not.
Show one.
Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah.
Right. Mine say the same thing. Mine say the same thing. And if thou persuade thyself in thy mind that they shall be taken.
Yeah. You got to matter yours either. On the computer, that's not matter.
right. And I have spoken, and none of my words shall be in vain.
So he's saying that word is fine. Put that on my mom. Nigga, it's gonna happen. Believe that. Read on.
Then Holofernes commanded his servant that waited in his tent to take Achior and bring him to Bethulia and deliver him into the hands of the children of Israel. So his servants took him and brought him out of the camp into the plain. And they went from the midst of the plain into the hill country and came into the fountains that were under the Bethune. And when the men of the city saw it, they took up their weapons and went out of the city to the top of the hill.
So these are the men of Bethune, right? When they saw, picture like, the only way I can just say this real quick is just picture this like a valley. Like that wall, go up, all the way up, valley-wise, this is the valley, this wall, go up, and there's the city of Bethune. And these cats are looking over there at them coming down with Achior. They don't even know him, but they look and they see that like he's a prisoner. And they just looking, but they got their swords and everything and I'm watching. Right? So they're seeing this, them coming down with him. Because they bringing Achior to them, they don't know. Right. So they don't guard. They watching the city and they see this unfolding. Okay, now, read on.
And when the men of the city saw it, they took up their weapons and went out of the city to the top of the hill. And every man that used the sling kept them from coming up by casting a stone against them.
So they see them coming, and now they got the slingshots out there, and pow, they hitting them with the slingshots, right? Trying to keep them from, they still don't know why they're coming. But they just now in war mode, like the wolves protecting the property. Right. They slinging rocks at them. You know.
Nevertheless, having gotten privily under the hill, they bound Achior and cast him down, and left him at the foot of the hill, and returned to their lord.
So now that they made it to their border, we'll say like the front gate. They done made it to the front gate of the city, and they dropped off Achior, and they turned around, and they went back. So now these people are looking like, okay, that's all they want to do. Just drop him off over here. Why we don't know yet, but we can see this happening. They brought him down here, left him at our gate, and turned around and walked away and went on back to the crib. Now we got to see what's up with this. Yeah. This is the fun part. Now we got to see what's up with this. Now, what did they do this for? Who is this? You remember what he looked like. Read on.
But the Israelites descended from their city and came unto him in Luz, and brought him to Bethune, and presented him to the governors of the city.
So just like we always say, open arms and open legs, as far as us as a people, we invite everybody in. Whether it be for righteousness or wickedness, but this time it's a righteousness. We know how we take care of people. Bottom line, if we see somebody suffering, that there's something that we can immediately do, take care of that person, we know we're going to do that. And that's exactly what happened. But they bring this Japanese dude down here, Paul. And they live at our door. But they went got him. When they brought him, you ain't got nothing to fear with us. We don't know what you just been through with them. For them to leave you at our gate. But you ain't got nothing with us. You want to leave? Come on in. Gotcha. Right? Read on.
Which were in those days Oziel, the son of Michael, of the tribe of Simeon, and Chabred, the son of Gathaliel, and Charmers, the son of Melchiel, and they together, all the ancients of the city, and all their youth ran together, and their women to the assembly, and they set Achior in the midst.
I'm glad you went still get love.
Almost there.
You tear it.
Of all the people, then Oziel asked him of that which was done.
Okay, so now it's been noised abroad of what just happened. So all the people of the city came to the assembly, and they set Achior right down in the middle. Tell us what happened. So everybody's a witness to this. Everybody's a witness to this in this city. That ancient text message went out, and everybody came. And now they got him in the middle. Now just think about, like I say, one Japanese cat in the middle of a bunch of people. Right? Right. You know.
And he answered and declared unto them the words of the council on the firmament, and all the words that he had spoken in the midst of the prince of the tool. And whatsoever Holofernes had spoken proudly against the house of Israel.
So he told them that Holofernes was blasting y'all and y'all God. And they finna come do something to you. And I told them not to. And here I am. They brought me out.
Kick me out.
Okay? Read on.
Then the people fell down and worshipped Yahweh, and cried unto Yahweh, saying, O Elohim, Yahweh of heaven, behold their pride, and pity the low estate of our nation, and look upon the face of those that are sanctified unto thee this day. Then they comforted Achior.
They did what?
They comforted Achior.
They comforted him. You know what I'm saying? After he told that story, kill the fat calf, bring out the wine, get him some new clothes, find him a place to lay up, set it out for him. That's what we do. Read on.
Then they comforted Achior and praised him. And Oziah took him out of the assembly unto his house, and made a feast to the elders. And they called on the God of Israel all that night for him.
All right, and now let's get into the heart of my beloved Achior. 1 through 14, 1 through 10.
What's chapter? Say chapter 14?
Yeah, chapter 14 in the same Jude.
What? 1 through 12. Understand?
We all there?
I'm not. Then said Judas unto them, hear me now, my brother, and take this head and hang it upon the highest place of your wall.
So just real quick, just to keep y'all now what happened was Judith went in. She stayed with Holofernes, this cat we talked about. She was staying with Holofernes. And during the course of the night, she took his head off with her hand with 2 chops and escaped out of there with his head and back to her people. And she's telling them now, take his head, put it on a stick like they did this old boy Muammar Gaddafi. Remember, y'all know that when they took Muammar Gaddafi down, they cut his head off and they put it on a stick for all to see. So this is what Judith is telling him. Put his head on a stick and set it out there for them to see it when they come. Because when they find out what I did, they come. But when they come, they will see the head on the stick. Like now. Y'all want y'all heads on the stick? You got ass on the other side of that. All right. Read on.
Verse 2. And so soon as the morning shall appear, and the sun shall come forth upon the earth, take ye every one his weapon, and go forth, every valiant man, out of the city, and set ye captain over them, as though ye would go down into the field toward the watch of the Assyrians, but go not down. Then they shall take their armor, and shall go unto their camp, and raise up the captains of the army of the soldiers, and shall run to the tent of Holofernes, but shall not find them. Then fear shall fall upon them, and they shall flee before your face. So ye and all your inhabitants, and all that inhabit the coast of Israel shall pursue them and overthrow them as they go. But before you do these things,
Now listen, this is Judith telling them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now she tells the elders. Now she done came back to the chumps who were scared. Now she said, before you do that, read.
but before you do these things, call me Achior the Ammonite, that he may see and know him that despised the house of Israel, and that sent him to us as it were to his death.
So she's saying right now, before y'all get started, take Achior out there. Set Achior up and let him see what he went through. Let him see how God get down. Don't let him miss this. Because this is the reason why he's here. He believed. He saw the power. He knew of our God to tell them, y'all tripping. Y'all better not mess with them. Right. God in the earth. God in the earth. So,
When they saying they're doing this, there's no, he ain't no, this ain't no fight. There ain't just no.
that's why that is the very reason why she's saying, go get Achior and let him see this. Let him see the evidence of the faith that he had, that he believed in our God. Let him see how to give a front row seat. Give him a front row seat and put him down there and watch him get down. This is a woman. That's right. That's right. Read on.
Then they called Achior out of the house of Odiah. And when he was come and saw the head of Holofernes in a man's hand in the assembly of people, he fell down on his face, and his spirit failed.
He didn't know. He like, hold on. They got Holofernes' head. He didn't know none of this. He didn't know none of this. And they like, but he was the same place. He was with Holofernes. Exactly. How you get his head? And he knew that the only person of y'all that been there was Judith. A woman. So now he's saying, all this that he's looking at now, he's saying, and this came from a woman. You know?
But when they had recovered him, he fell at Judith's feet and reverenced her, and said, Blessed art thou in all the tabernacles of Judah, and in all nations, which hearing thy name shall be astonished. Now therefore, tell me all the things that thou hast done in these days.
So now it's Achior's time to holler at Judah. Because they was there, right? And you've seen how they said Achior, tell us what happened, Achior. And he told them the whole story. Now Achior with Judah. Come on, girl, tell me what happened. Tell me what happened. How did you do that? Now they have a chance to rap because they was there together. And now they back home safe. He got a new home. Right. He still ain't got assimilated yet to the new home. But he ain't with them no more. His life is not in danger no more. Nebuchadnezzar told him he's going to kill him. Yeah. He's safe now. So now they can rap. Jude, tell me what happened. You know.
Now therefore, tell me all the things that thou hast done in these days. Then Judah declared unto him in the midst of the people all that she had done from the day that she went forth until that hour she spake unto them. And when she had left off speaking, the people shouted with a loud voice and made a joyful noise in their city.
It is, y'all.
And when Achior had seen all that the God of Israel had done, he believed in Yahweh greatly, and circumcised the flesh of his foreskin, and was joined into the house of Israel unto this day.
Until this day. That's my dad. This is what I'm talking about. This is my dad right here. He's like, hold up, I'm rolling. I done seen it. Get the cut. Everything I need to do, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm rolling until this day. That's what I'm talking about. For our God. That's right. And you look at our people who denied him. So who's our cat? Achior or all those people that denied him? No. Achior our cat. That's our brother. That's our brother.
Let's see.
That's right. Let's read on. Let's get now. We're gonna get apocryphal. We're gonna go right to. I want to show.
Sound like you're preaching the gospel.
Before we get into, we looked at all the righteous people. We're going to start the unrighteous people. And righteous and unrighteous. 17. Give me that. Check that out. We're gonna move. I'm gonna have to check out something for me. We're gonna go to look at Genesis 4, 1 through 16. Y'all see how that throughout all the different books that we always go through, how they all tie back in. Because it's the spirit that shows. We can all read the same scriptures, but this brother will read this scripture and bring out another whole class. See, of the things that we're reading, but we're just branching out and showing how all these things tie together because they all tie together from him and his son. So it don't matter where we at. They all saying the same thing. We looking at different examples of faith and unfaith.
Chapter 4, 1. Chapter 4, 1
all right?
16.
So we're going to go right back and look at Cain, the first one. Then we're going to get to this other thing. Woo. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. May the Most High be with you and yours.
So.
We'll be reading in the book of Genesis, chapter 4. Start our reading at verse 1. Get some understanding. And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground.
Okay, wait. So the difference between Abel and Cain. Cain was a tiller of the ground. That's the point. Cain was a tiller of the ground. Like his dad. Mm-hmm. Like his dad was a tiller of the ground. So he means he has to work too, right? Yeah. To eat. There's a difference though. His daddy had to till the ground and he had to till the ground. Come on.
Verse 3. And in process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Most High. And Abel, he also brought of the firstling of his flock, and of the fat thereof. And the Most High had respect unto Abel and to his offering. But unto Cain and to his offering he had no respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And the Most High said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. And Cain talked with Abel his brother. And it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him. And the Most High said unto Cain, Where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth.
Now hold on. Right here, I want to show this. The Lord showed me this correlation. Adam and Eve were cursed and kicked out of the garden. Cain got cursed. The earth. Difference. You know that he said he'd be a wanderer and a nomad and all that, right? Cain, Adam and Eve being kicked out of the garden, they were outside of where they were supposed to be.
Outside of paradise.
Okay? But they're out in the world. Cain got kicked out of the world that they got kicked into. Y'all see that? Out of the garden into the world. Cain, you out the world too. Period. Let's read this and see this.
Verse 11. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength.
See, now there's the difference. Adam had to till the ground and it yielded forth his strength. We saw that Cain tilled the ground and he brought that crap that he brought as a sacrifice to the Most High and kept the good stuff to himself, right? The Lord told him now, you ain't got no crops coming. Y'all see that now? Now, how is he supposed to eat? How is he supposed to eat now if he can't till the ground? So we see in here, there's a cat that's on the line. For what he did, you done got kicked out of the earth. Read on.
When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall thou be in the earth.
Be in the earth. That means a fugitive and a vagabond, you have no resting place. You're going to be a wanderer. You're going to be a bum. Homeless. You're homeless not because of this situation that there's homeless people. No, you're homeless in the earth. You have no place to lay your head. You have no place to rest. You have to keep moving. Just like any murderer, before they get caught, constantly looking over their shoulder, no place to rest. Watching everybody. Watching everybody. Y'all see the shows when they talk about that and how they have to go through their day. And then what do? How they end up getting caught? They get caught. Because they're supposed to get caught. Constantly looking over your shoulder and constantly knowing who is that. Scared to answer your phone. Scared to go to the store. Scared to do anything because you have been kicked out. See that? See the difference now? Adam had to till the ground before it to yield. Cain had to till the ground before it to yield. But he said, because of what you've done, your yielding days is over and it's gone. Read on.
Verse 13. And Cain said unto the Most High, my punishment is greater than I can bear.
So we know that the Lord would not put more on us than we can handle, right? He still had mercy on Cain right here at this point. Only by saying, because Cain was scared now. Somebody gonna kill me. So the Lord said, well, anybody kill you, I got them. But you still got them. You see that? Read on.
Verse 14. Behold, thou hast driven me out of this day. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth.
From the face of the earth. From the earth will receive you no more. Because of your blood that went in it from your brother. The earth cried out. The earth received that blood. The earth will receive you no more. Read on.
And from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that every one that findeth me shall slay me. And the Most High said unto him, therefore, whatsoever slayeth Cain, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Most High set a mark upon him, lest any finding him should kill him.
So did he still have mercy on Cain?
Yes.
I'm gonna keep this death angel off of you, because everybody's looking for you, because you a wanted man. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry. The mark. Oh no. Just only the old wives' tales that people say. You heard that God turned right. No, it don't say that. Don't say that. You should put a mark on it. That I have not read what the mark is. But it is a mark you don't want. Right. Right. Yeah. All right. Now let's go look at this cat named Saul. No, David. Number 16, Paul.
Man, no. I'm just saying.
Yep. Come on, David, Yep.
Where are we going now?
Yep. That boy been studying. Boy, come on up here and get at the table. Read this story. Come on, read this story, boy. You know it. Come on, read this story.
They heard you from back there enough.
Shoot, matter of fact, I'll sit over there and you teach this. That's how it's supposed to work, ain't it, brother? Now, I wanted to read a little faster through this too, because we still got some other cats to look at, and this 17 don't show up to the other side of the page, so let's roll.
Reading in the book of Numbers, chapter 16 and verse 1. Now Korah, the son of Izhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and On, the son of Peleth, sons of Reuben, took men, and they rose up before Moses with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown. And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and said unto them, Ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of them, and the Most High is among them. Wherefore, then lift ye up yourselves above the congregation of the Lord.
So, real quick, Pilate said this to Annas and Caiaphas. Say, you people are always seditious, and you have went against your own prophets from the Lord. Pilate said that to them. And this is what we just read this. Them rising up against Moses and Aaron, Pilate told them about this situation during that trial of our Messiah. Okay? It's in the class. He said, you always been that. Read on.
Verse 4. And when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face. And he spake unto Korah and unto all his company, saying, Even tomorrow the Most High will show who are his, and who is holy, and will cause him to come near unto him. Even him whom he hath chosen will he cause to come near unto him.
So Moses just told them what was going to happen. We're going to handle this. We're going to let the Lord show this. Okay, just going to put all of this to an end of what y'all doing. Read on.
Verse 6. This do, take you censers, Korah, and all his company, and put fire therein, and put incense in them before the Most High tomorrow. And it shall be that the man whom the Most High doth choose, he shall be holy. Ye take too much upon you, ye sons of Levi. And Moses said unto Korah, Hear, I pray you, ye sons of Levi. Seemeth it but a small thing unto you, that the that the Elohim of Israel had separated you from the congregation of Israel to bring you near to himself, to do the service of the tabernacle of the Most High, and to stand before the congregation to minister unto them. And he hath brought thee near to him, and all thy brethren, the sons of Levi, with thee. And seek ye the priesthood also? For which cause both thou and all thy company are gathered together against the Most High. And what is Aaron, that ye murmur against him?
So Moses is asking him, nigga, what's the problem? Y'all are here trying to pull a power move and take over. They trying to pull a power move and take over Moses' and Aaron's positions. Okay? And now Moses is like, what's the problem? We're going to see. The Lord going to handle this. So read on.
Verse 12. And Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, which said, we will not come up.
So these two cats now, Dathan and Abiram, Moses called for them to come to the meeting. Nigga, we ain't going nowhere. We ain't coming. We ain't coming. Moses got PO'd. Read on.
Verse 13. It is a small thing that thou hast brought us up out of a land that floweth with milk and honey.
Now hold on here. The Lord said he was going to send us to the promised land, a land flowing with milk and honey. These niggas say you done brought us out of the land that flowed with milk and honey. He said, is it enough that you done that? This is what they're saying in response to Moses calling them to come. Nigga, is it enough that you done brought us out the land of milk and honey? Now what, nigga? What? They mad about that. They mad about having to leave Egypt. Okay? Read on.
Is it a small thing that thou hast brought us up out of the land that floweth with milk and honey, to kill us in the wilderness, except thou make thyself altogether a prince over us?
So not only did you bring us out here, but it was the reason you brought us out here, because you want to be prince over us. Okay? They want to be the prince. This is still them fat mouth. Moses. Read on.
Moreover, thou hast not brought us into a land that floweth with milk and honey, or given us inheritance of fields and vineyards. Wilt thou put out the eyes of these men? We will not come up.
Now, y'all know that Dathan in the movie The Ten Commandments was played by Edward G. Robinson.
Yeah.
He was the one that was saying, where's your guy now, Moses? Huh? Where's your guy now, Moses? Okay, so he being one of the people, that's like Lazarus being my people, talking to me about my God, that's his God, but he don't follow him. So now he's asking me, Uriah, where you got it? Where you got it now, Uriah? So that's who Dathan was. He's the one that the Pharaoh told him that you would sell your own mother out. And he said, yes, if it pleased the Pharaoh, I would. So this is who this bootlicker is. All right? This is Uncle Ruckus. All right? Hated everything about himself and his people. And more importantly, his God. Read on.
Verse 15. And Moses was very wroth, and said unto the Most High, respect not thou their offering? I have not taken one ass from them, neither have I hurt one of them. And Moses said unto Korah, be thou and all thy company before the Most High, thou and they and Aaron tomorrow.
So Moses, this is how mad he was. Moses was telling the Lord, don't respect. That's what that reads. Don't respect their offering. If these niggas make an offering to you, Lord, don't respect it. That's what Moses is saying. Because Moses is going to handle some business right here. And the fact of it was, Moses is through with these two niggas right now. Himself. So he told the Lord, don't respect their offering. He's telling him also that I ain't took one ass from them for any of this service, because he know that they were some janky niggas anyway. So he's saying, I ain't even took an ass from them. Right? So this is deeper than y'all know what niggas do. Y'all know exactly what niggas do and how niggas do it. And that's who these are. And Moses know how these niggas is. Mm-hmm. That's all it is. And that's just what we see. Moses know exactly how these niggas, and he fed up with it because he's been a thorn in Moses' side, see? This ain't just their first encounter. This nigga was talking smack back in Egypt. Y'all see he had that somehow somebody put that blood over his doorpost for him to be out here in the wilderness. Okay? So he made it through the Red Sea without faith. Just going through the motions. When it comes down to knowing what you got to do, you do it then, right? But all the other time, it's like, I know I need gas in my car, I'll get it. And you ride around with that yellow light on, still saying, I'll get it. And you wait till the last minute before you know. Now, if you know when your car ran out of gas and you can run it. That's how we used to be, y'all. That's how we used to be, y'all. We ain't them people no more. We have $5 to put in the tank. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to ride like that no more.
I'm only putting in $3.50.
Put $3.50 further down the street. So, let's read on here.
Verse 17. And take every man his censer, and put incense in them, and bring ye before the Most High every man his censer, 250 censers, thou also and Aaron, each of you his censer. And they took every man his censer, and put fire in them, and laid incense thereon, and stood in the door of the tabernacles of the congregation with Moses and Aaron. And Korah gathered all the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation.
So they banging this out we don't have a temple yet. So this is where the Ark of the Covenant is, that tent, where like church is, because we moving and we got a church tent to go to church to. This is where this is happening at. Where the holy things happen at amongst the people, this is where they banging this out at. Read on.
And the glory of the Most High appeared unto all the congregation. And Yahweh spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment.
Oh, so now, not only is this the Most High showing up as Moses is back.
Right.
Yeah, we finna put these niggas down. Yeah, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. You see, even through making it through the Red Sea, crossing over on dry land, Nathan's ass is still fat mouth.
Right.
Fat mouth. Fat mouth. Now it's time to put this nigga down. Time to put, that's what's happening. Read on.
Verse 22. And they fell upon their faces and said, O Yah, the Elohim of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin? And will thou be wroth with all the congregation?
Nope.
And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the congregation, saying, get you up from about the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram.
The three stooges.
And Moses rose up and went unto Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. And he spake unto the congregation, saying, depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest ye be consumed in all their sins.
So the Lord is telling, I missed it here. There was a people that was chilling over there with them, and they part of the town, because there ain't no town. Y'all see, we go through by families. We travel in tribes. The tribe of Judah would be together. It wasn't all 11 mixed together. Judah had a spot. and all down through the line. So over where Korah and them, where the Levites were, they had their certain little block where all their little tents are set up at. And there was some people over there, and he's telling them, get them from over there. Get away from them. Finna do something. And if you don't move, you finna get caught up too. Y'all see this instant thing here again? Instant thing here again? See the Lord finna show? He finna show and prove. Moses tell them they better move. Finna handle this. Read on.
Verse 27. So they got up from the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram on every side. And Dathan and Abiram came out and stood in the door of their tents, and their wives, and their sons, and their little children. And Moses said, hereby ye shall know that the Most High hath sent me to do all these works.
So Moses is, now look, I didn't even get this till now. Y'all been beefing with me and my brother about him. Now, y'all spoke out against me. Watch him work through me again. Make it known. Make it known. All that I've done, that he has done through me, let's make this one known again. So the last thing y'all gonna say, what y'all fat mouthing about, the last thing y'all gonna see is me. Let's read that again.
Verse 28. And Moses said, hereby ye shall know that the Most High hath sent me to do all these works. For I have not done them of mine own mind.
See, so y'all been all this time mad at me and Aaron. But y'all ain't saying nothing to him. Y'all ain't talking to the Lord, y'all yelling at us. So now in like kind and in like manner, the same cat y'all been hollering at, it's known that that's the one he's using to do this to you. This is the one. The pit that y'all dug in hating Moses and Aaron, your punishment is coming straight out from him, from the Most High. An act. An act. He ain't using nobody else to do this. He's using Moses to do this. Read on.
Verse 29. If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then the Most High hath not sent me. But if the Lord make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth and swallow them up,
it's a new thing here,
with all that appertain unto them, and they go down quick into the pit, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Lord. And it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground clave asunder and was under them, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their houses, and all the men that appertain unto Korah, and all their goods. They and all that appertain to them went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the congregation.
So there was another cat we just looked at that got the same type of treatment, without the earth being swallowed up, but they got stoned and burned. When we was looking at the cat that when they had the battle of Jericho, and he took some silver and some stuff and some clothes from Babylon, that the Lord told him in the previous chapter, you go to war with these people, don't touch none of their stuff, don't pick up none of their stuff, don't bring none of this stuff back with you. And then when Joshua was praying to the Lord's like, nigga, we got a problem right here. Get up. Joshua prayed to him about the same thing, but Joshua's not understanding right now that some nigga out here tripped among the congregation. The Lord said, we got to handle this business now, before we move on, before anything else moves. We got to handle this.
Dirt snap while awake.
There it is. So, just like with Corbin, all that stuff. When that dude, they said, find him and bring him out, and his family, and all their goods, and everything that they own, and bring them out together and stone them. And when you get done stoning them, pile them up and burn them up and cover them up for a reminder. So what you think the people that saw this earth swallow up and get naked? Read on, see that.
Verse 34. And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them. For they said, lest the earth swallow us up also.
So they were beaten away from there. Did y'all hear a few years ago about the sinkhole in Florida? Under a man's bedroom? He was laying in the bed asleep. Gone. Gone. They said his brother stood out there and looked down and just thought about his brother down there in that hole. Dead. And he's there. You can't go excavate a sinkhole. You understand that? You cannot excavate a sinkhole.
Ain't no bottom.
There's a hole down there.
You ain't got nothing to support yourself.
So all you can do your best is to cover that spot up and let nobody else get around it. Okay? So they got swallowed up. And when I heard about that man, I was like, I wonder if he did something to the Lord that made him that bad. See what I'm saying? It was a real thought. It was a real thought. And that other thought was, I don't want to happen to you. Let's read.
Verse 35. And there came out a fire from the Most High, and consumed the 250 men that offered incense.
So these people that they was arguing about, that's how this come back. All these other 250 fat mouthers that we gonna take over. We finna take over the priesthood. We finna put Moses and Aaron out. All them 250 Confederate soldiers to this. Another example. Lord don't play. He don't forget, and he tell you all the time, I'll pay you back to your face. Let's read.
Verse 36. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Eleazar the son of Aaron the priest, that he take up the censers out of the burning, and scatter thou the fire yonder, for they are hallowed. The censers of these sinners against their own soul, let them make them broad plates for a covering of the altar, for they offered them before the Most High. Therefore they are hallowed, and they shall be a sign unto the children of Israel. And Eleazar the priest took the brazen censers wherewith they that were burnt had offered, and they were made broad plates for a covering of the altar.
So he took their censers that was left, had them melted it down, and he used them to cover the altar with. Read on.
To be a memorial unto the children of Israel, that no stranger, which is not of the seed of Aaron, come near to offer incense before the Most High, that he be not as Korah and as his company, as the Lord said to him by the hand of Moses.
So he said that he made the distinction in the seed of Levi, because these were, Korah now was Levites. They had temple service. There's a difference between temple service and the priesthood in the same family. They wanted the priesthood. They was tired of filling up pots and sacrifices and all that. They didn't want to get their hands dirty no more in temple sacrifice, in temple services. They wanted to be the priest now. So the Lord said, read on.
Verse 41. But on the morrow, all the congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron.
Again, the next day, somebody else fat mouthed. The very next day, after all this been happened, the very next day, somebody else fat mouthed. Read on.
Saying, Ye have killed the people of the Lord. And it came to pass,
Really?
when the congregation was gathered against Moses and against Aaron, that they looked toward the tabernacle of the congregation. And behold, the cloud covered it, and the glory of the Most High appeared. And Moses and Aaron came before the tabernacle of the congregation. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Get you up from among this congregation, that I may consume them as in a moment. And they fell upon their faces.
Now look, check it out. The Lord's like, I'm through. Now y'all move.
I'm finna get all up.
Y'all move out the way. Because I'm finna light their tails up. Yep. I'm finna light them up. The very next day, y'all remember this. This is the very next day. Just like he told Adam. Adam, you didn't last a day. You didn't last a day.
Clowning with Moses like they had shovels.
Exactly. And then the next day, then they say, they mad at them because they say, you killed the people of the Lord. If they was the people of the Lord, they wouldn't have been dead.
Right.
They wouldn't have been dead. Like he did this. So they still blaming Moses for this. Because they ain't gonna talk to the Most High. They ain't gonna blame him. They see what he do. Don't I fear him like he can do that to me? Poof, and I'm gone. But they don't. You killed the people of the Lord. We mad. Lord say, Moses,
Should be
step back.
glad it wasn't
Step back,
you.
move, Moses. Move out the way, Moses.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because these niggas still tripping. The next day. Read this.
Verse 46. And Moses said unto Aaron, Take a censer, and put fire therein from off the altar, and put on incense, and go quickly unto the congregation, and make an atonement for them.
They was hurrying up trying to prevent the Lord from doing this. Moses and Aaron went to work for these niggas. Moses and see now you see a different mercy. You see this mercy right here. Moses and Aaron got busy to try to tell the Lord don't do this. Let's finish it up and read this and see this. But they had mercy on their own enemies of their own household. Read this.
For there is wrath gone out from the Most High. The plague is begun. And Aaron took as Moses commanded, and ran into the midst of the congregation. And behold, the plague was begun among the people. And he put on incense, and made an atonement for the people. And he stood between the dead and the living, and the plague was stayed.
See, so look at this. Now we know the miracles and things like that. The plague has begun. So we see there's a wave of death and destruction that these people are dropping immediately. And Aaron ran in between just like that middle aisle. All those on that side was dead because the plague is coming this way. And he stood in between there. Hold this plague up for these people behind me on this side that they may live. See what I'm saying? See the mercy that Moses and Aaron, they're like, this is between the brothers. This is between the brothers. For what the father had already said. Get back. I'm finna drop him. They like, no, we can't let the Lord do this. Come on. Hurry up. Get that sister. Get over there. But you see the Lord allowed to happen too, didn't you? Because of them. Their love. Moses and Aaron's love for the people who ain't been doing nothing but giving them problems. Read on.
Verse 49. Now they that died in the plague were 14,700, beside them that died about the matter of Korah. And Aaron returned unto Moses unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the plague was stayed.
See that? The Lord said, hey, I'm going to put them down. But because Aaron and Moses showed that they still love the people, all right, I'm going to let that happen. All right, now we're going to Yeah, 1 Samuel. Now, Saul was always in my mind to put in here, but I had to go back because Daniel had tied something together in a class recently that I was like, I got to go look at this and see it for myself, the whole story about it. So that's what I did. I used this example that he had gave and showed how he had tied this together, because I didn't put the 2 and 2 together. So we're going to go with the story of Saul. And we're going to see the inside of it. The whole story is why Saul was who he was and how he tripped. But we're going to see the reason why. When Saul tripped the very first time, it was his very first time doing something. And he tripped. And the Lord was like, he only had that one time. But when he thought in his own mind, I didn't trip that hard. He gonna forgive me for this. It's gonna be all good. I don't be rolling like I was set up to be rolling. Saul's brakes were pumped immediately. He didn't even know it. Let's look at this. What we at on time, y'all?
422.
422?
422.
We have, when we get through Saul, then we're going to be in the New Testament. We ain't going to be here that much longer, y'all. We good.
1 Samuel what?
1 Samuel 15 on. What was 9? Was you at 9 or 24? No, I know, but I have a 9 down here. Just let me go. Let me read. 1 Samuel 15.
1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 1. Samuel also said unto Saul, the Lord sent me to anoint thee to be king over his people, over Israel. Now therefore hearken thou unto the voice of the words of the Lord. Thus said the Lord of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel, how he laid wait for him in the way when he came up from Egypt.
Okay, so right here in tying this story together the way Daniel had brought out this cat, Agag, that we're going to look at. But right there with that verse, in the Genesis 49, the scepter class, when Simeon and Levi made that covenant with Shechem and his daddy about Dinah, I didn't remember, in that class, Daniel said, Simeon and Levi was going to handle that business because the people, Shechem, them people had tripped with Isaac. So what Shechem's people had did with Isaac over his wife, the Lord said they're going to pay for that. So that's why they still he got his revenge back on Shechem, the city of Shechem, for what they had previously done. This right here is the same thing. Let's read this again. This is a payback from the Lord for something these people did to his people earlier. So this is why we're seeing this payback thing here. And that's why Saul was supposed to do what he's supposed to do, and he didn't. So there's more to this than that. So let's read this through this.
Verse 3. Now go and smite Amalek, and utterly destroy all that they have, and spare them not, but slay both man and women, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass. And Saul gathered the people together, and numbered them in Telmain, 200,000 footmen, and 10,000 men of Judah. And Saul came to the city of Amalek, and laid wait in the valley. And Saul said unto the Kenites, Go, depart, get you down from among the Amalekites, lest I destroy you with them. For ye showed kindness to all the children of Israel when they came up out of Egypt.
So the Amalekites showed us kindness. What are the people? Kenites. No, it was the people that didn't show us kindness on our way out. That's why the Lord was paying them back. When we was coming out of Egypt, Amalek laid wait for the children of Israel when we were coming out. So the Lord is paying back Amalek's people for what they did to us when we came out. But the other people showed us kindness coming out. So Saul said, get y'all away from them. It's like the two people were together. One liked us and one hated us. But they were dwelling together. And Saul said, y'all get away from them unless y'all gonna get destroyed with them. Okay, we finna put them down. Here's your chance to get out, because y'all showed us kindness, but we finna pay them back for them what they did on our way out. That's what that is. Read on.
So the Kenites departed from among the Amalekites. And Saul smote the Amalekites from Havilah until the comest to Shur, that is over against Egypt. And he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword.
So there it is right there. That was the key thing. Saul did this upon himself. He said, the Lord told him right up here in the early one, in verse 3, destroy them and all their stuff. Asses, sheep, goats, camels, women, children, suckling, wipe them out. Okay? But Saul said, look, some of them sheep and goats is too good to destroy. I'll keep them and use them for the service of the Lord. Still ain't what he said.
You don't need your service.
That's right.
Like that.
For you to put this your own spin on this. Put your own spin on what the Lord told you.
That was the lust of your own heart.
That's right. Because he was new. He looking at wealth. Read on.
But Saul and the people spared Agag, and the best of the sheep, and of the oxen, and of the fattened, and the lambs, and all that was good, and would not utterly destroy them. But everything that was vile and refused, that they destroyed utterly. Then came the word of the Lord unto Samuel, saying, it repenteth me that I have set up Saul to be king, for he is turned back from following me, and has not performed my commandments. And it grieved Samuel, and he cried unto the Lord all night.
So there it is. The Lord was grieved, and Samuel was grieved. He just got started. He didn't have a track record of doing good. And this one mistake came up later. He started out wrong. Got the big head because he was taller than anybody. His shoulders were above the head of every man in Israel. So his head got even bigger. Now he became king. Read on.
And when Samuel rose early to meet Saul in the morning, it was told Samuel, saying, Saul came to Carmel, and behold, he set him up a place, and is gone about, and passed on, and gone down to Gilgal. And Samuel came to Saul, and Saul said unto him, Blessed be thou of the Lord. I have performed the commandment of the Lord.
So he thought he was doing good still. In his own mind, his own righteousness. His own righteousness. And what did he do? Like Satan, he deceived himself. Let's read on.
And Samuel said, What meaneth then this bleating of the sheep in mine ears, and the lowing of the oxen which I hear? And Saul said, They have brought them from the Amalekites.
Hold it, remember why you the Amalekites.
Amalekites.
Samuel came, and he's this bleaching of the ears and the sheep and the oxen he's in, the lowering of them. He came to where Saul was, and he's hearing all these. And he's saying, what is this noise of these sheep and these cattle in my ears? What is this, Saul? Where did this come from? Where did you get these things? Why am I hearing this stuff? That's what that is. Where is this coming from, Saul? Huh? Where is this in my ears?
How am I hearing this noise?
Right. Read on.
And Saul said, they have brought them from the Amalekites. For the people spared the best of the sheep and of the oxen.
What did I tell you?
To sacrifice unto the Lord thy God, and the rest we have utterly destroyed. Then Samuel said unto Saul, stay, and I will tell thee what the Lord hath said to me this night. And he said unto him, say on. And Samuel said, when thou wast little in thine own sight, was thou not made the head of the tribe of Israel? And the Lord anointed thee king over Israel.
All right, now, I understand what he meant by this 9. Chapter 9, I guess, that we saw Saul's origin and when he met Samuel. So when he met Samuel, and Samuel told him that he was going to be king over the 12 tribes of Israel, he said, but I'm just from a little tribe. I'm from the baby tribe. I'm from Benjamin. We're the least amount of numbers of the tribe, 12 tribes. We have the least amount of family. You see what I'm saying? They the smallest one. Not only that they the 12, but they the smallest one. So that's what Samuel means by here. He said, when you said ye were little, that's what that beginning of it was. How shall I, being little, become this great to rule all 12 tribes? So he compared himself to the other 11 and through all 12, and he called himself little. So that's what Samuel meant by that. So we missed that 9, I'm sorry, but we still got to keep rolling. Let's roll.
Verse 18. And the Lord sent thee on a journey and said, go and utterly destroy the sinners, the Amalekites, and fight against them until they be consumed. Wherefore then didst thou not obey the voice of the Lord, but didst fly upon the spoils.
So he said, you see, he said fly upon the spoils, right? That means like, woo, goody, 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 goody. Look what we got. He said, you flew down on that spoil. So it showed what Saul's heart was. He fighting in the battle. There's a Cadillac truck over there. Look at that. So he picking out spoils during the battle of what he gonna take back. Because your mind is not supposed to be on spoils. Your mind is supposed to be on what the Lord told you, and he said wipe them out. But he wanted to see, yeah, when I get done killing them, I'm gonna come back for that. Or I'm gonna send my boy over here and get that. I'm gonna tell him to go in the keys and get that house and drive that car back to me. See what I'm saying? So just like when Samuel would come today, and Saul having a pool party, and everybody hanging out and blowing horns and stuff. And Saul, where am I hearing these escalated horns? Where am I hearing all this stuff from, Saul? You ain't supposed to have this. You just became king. You ain't had all this stuff. Well, yeah, dog, you know, we went through the battle, man. That truck was brand new, man. That truck was brand new. That's a 19. I couldn't burn that up. We're going to bring it back and use it for the service of the Lord.
You hard-headed.
There it is. Read on.
And did evil in the sight of the Lord. And Saul said unto Samuel, yea, I have obeyed the voice of the Lord, and have gone the way which the Lord sent me, and have brought Agag the king of Amalek, and have utterly destroyed the Amalekites.
There you go.
But the people took of the spoil, sheep and oxen, the chief of the things which should have been utterly destroyed, to sacrifice unto the Lord thy God in Gilgal.
So, y'all, what we to see in here too is that Saul moved. He done made a come up. He done moved from where he was. That's why Samuel had to go to where he was. They was together. After this battle, Saul like, yeah, I got mortgage money out of this. I can go buy me a new house. Because when Samuel went to look for him, they like, where's Saul at? They said, he done went to this city. He done left where they were and didn't even say goodbye to Samuel. Samuel had to go looking for him, and that's where he found him at, down in Atlanta. The one of them big mansions that they always talk about the preachers have. That's where he found Saul with all his goods that he newly acquired.
Right.
Now, read on.
Verse 22. And Samuel said, Have the Lord as great delight in the burnt offerings and sacrifice, as in obeying the voice of the Lord. Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry.
So y'all, those few simple little things that we take for granted, he's giving a comparison that them little things that y'all think are little, this is how really bad they are. This is just like witchcraft. Seen that? Read, keep reading.
Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he hath also rejected thee from being king. And Saul said unto Samuel, I have sinned, for I have transgressed the commandments of the Lord and thy words, because I feared the people and obeyed their voice.
See, so he's saying that it's really ain't my fault. The people made me do it. And that what Eve said? The devil made me do it? Saul said, hey, I transgressed, but there's no but. I transgressed. That but the people made me do it, it's not good enough.
That's part of the nature of this flesh to blame somebody else. Every time it wasn't me, it was them.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, we continue on here.
5. Now therefore, I pray thee, pardon my sin and turn again with me, that I may worship the Lord. And Samuel said unto Saul, I will not return with thee, for thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, and the Lord hath rejected thee from being king over Israel. And as Samuel turned about to go away, he laid hold upon the skirt of his mantle, and it rent.
So, Saul is saying, yeah, I tripped. People made me do it. Turn back with me, Samuel. Be with me. And we may go and serve the Lord together again. Samuel said, nigga, you don't get it.
You on your own, buddy.
You a food piece. You a food piece. And he says, as he turned to go about his way, he took the hem of his garment to show Saul. Really? That means something. Just like we say, put that on my mama, put this, that we boom, 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 that we trying to get people to understand we telling the truth and we know we lying. That meant something. Nigga, I'm done with you. Because the Lord is done with you. We can't be cool no more, nigga. We can't be friends and hang out no more. What does that look like? Me hanging out with you, and I'm a man of the Lord, and he dealing with me. Like you spare Agag? Nigga, please. You think I'm going to get the same trouble you get into? No, it hurt the Lord and Samuel. That's what Saul did. Read on.
And Samuel said unto him, the Lord hath rent the kingdom of Israel from thee this day, and hath given it to a neighbor of thine that is better than thou.
Told him his replacement.
And also the strength of Israel will not lie nor repent, for he is not a man that he should repent. Then he said, I have sinned, yet honor me now, I pray thee, before the elders of my people, and before Israel, and turn again with me, that I may worship the Lord thy God. So Samuel turned again after Saul, and Saul worshiped the Lord.
Now we see what happens, right? Come on.
Then said Samuel, bring you hither to me, Agag the king of the Amalekites.
And Agag came unto him delicately. And Agag said, surely the bitterness of death is past.
Now hold on. Agag know he in trouble. Agag knew what was supposed to go down, and he had got spared. You see, like when the Lord said to Joshua, there's a problem in Israel right now, we gotta handle it. And go, this is how to handle it. And they corrected that problem when they killed that man and all this stuff, right? So, right here with Saul, before Samuel is gonna move, back into this thing with Saul, he said, we gotta finish this business. And nigga, you couldn't do it. Bring him to me. I got it. We gonna finish this. We can't go further, Saul, with this unfinished business. See, you still didn't finish the work of the Lord that he told you to do. And now you're gonna say you want to come back to him with this same unfinished business? This unfinished business. He told you this for a reason. All right, so let's go.
Verse 33. And Samuel said, as thy sword hath made women childless, so shall thy mother be childless among women. And Samuel hewed Agag in pieces before the Lord in Gilgal.
And Saul crib.
Now you want to kill him.
Then Samuel went to Ramah, and Saul went up to his house in the Gibeah of Saul.
And he not only he moved to a new place, but he gonna name the place after him. Gibeah of Saul. You know how people name their houses? This estate. No, this nigga's head was so big, he done named a new place after himself. Of Saul. Read on.
And Samuel came no more to see Saul until the day of his death. Nevertheless, Samuel mourned for Saul. And the Lord repented that he had made Saul king over Israel.
So now we're going to see how this ties in. So keep reading. 16, 14. Yep. 16 verse 14, then 28, 7 through 19. Yep, 16 verse 14.
All right. Chapter 16, verse 14. But the Spirit of the Lord departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from the Lord troubled him.
So the Lord took that spirit from Saul, sent him another. An evil spirit. There's not no question about the Lord doing evil. He gave Saul an evil spirit to torment him for what he did. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no, see, the Lord said when he pay you back, you don't get to do wrong and get away with it. He never let David forget it. He never let Adam forget it. And because Saul, not only did Saul turn his back on him and try to hang around, the Lord put an evil spirit on him to torment him, because you know why he put that spirit on him? He was setting David up. He was setting King David up. Because David played that harp. And it was that spirit that he got out of him. So he used it like that so that, Saul wanted to kill David. But Saul knew also that it was David that got that evil spirit off him that we see the Lord put on him right there. All right, let's keep rolling. (28) 7 through 19.
Oh, that was just one on that one.
First Samuel chapter 28, 7 through 19, I see.
Yep.
Yep. And then we're going to the book of Esther for 2 verses. And then we're going to be in the New Testament. And we're going to be out here shortly after. Well, not that short.
1 Samuel chapter 28, verse 7. Then said Saul unto his servants, seek me a woman that hath a familiar spirit, that I may go to her and inquire of her. And his servant said unto him, behold, there is a woman that has a familiar spirit at Endor. And Saul disguised himself and put on other raiment.
The reason he disguised himself, we're going to see this. So I wanted y'all to see this reason up front. There's a reason he disguised himself, and it's going to come back. So just so that y'all know, this disguise is for a reason.
And Saul disguised himself and put on other raiment. And he went, and 2 men with him. And they came to the woman by night. And he said, I pray thee, divine unto me by the familiar spirit, and bring me him up, whom I shall name unto thee. And the woman said unto him, Behold, thou knowest what Saul hath done, how he hath cut off those that have familiar spirits, and the wizards out of the land.
So now, because they asked, she just like a dope man selling out on the corner, and a stranger walk up. They know you selling dope, but the dope person don't know the stranger that, hey, I'm in from out of town, like tourists. You got some weed? You know where some weed at? No, nobody know where no weed at around here, right? So that's what she did. Saul disguised himself. So when they asked her, they said, you know, Saul done put out there eating. You ain't finna get me caught up. I don't know nothing. No, it's cool. It's cool. We'll pay. We'll pay double to get her to do it, right? That's what it means. So that she now, and nothing about the paying her double, it was the fact that they had to convince her to do what they wanted her to do. Because she's like, no, you ain't getting me killed. You ain't getting me killed. Just like you ain't getting me caught. Read on.
How he hath cut off those that have familiar spirits, and the wizards out of the land. Wherefore then layest thou a snare for my life to cause me to die? And Saul swore to her by the Lord, saying, As the Lord liveth, there shall no punishment happen to thee for this thing. Then said the woman, Whom shall I bring up unto thee? And he said, Bring me up Samuel.
So y'all see that Samuel done passed. And she like, who you want? Who you want me to bring up? Just that simple. Who you want me to bring up? Bring me up Samuel, right? Read on.
And when the woman saw Samuel, then said the woman, Whom shall I bring up unto thee? And he said, Bring me up Samuel. And when the woman saw Samuel, she cried with a loud voice. And the woman spake to Saul, saying, Why hast thou deceived me? For thou art Saul.
So, look at that there. Samuel was not the only cat named Samuel. So she didn't know that that was the Samuel that was going to be brought up. That's how he was exposed. Bring me up Samuel. All right, come up Samuel. Samuel? Saul, you lied to me! That's what that was, and that's how he got exposed, because when she saw it was that Samuel. Now she's facing death in her eyes. Nigga, you tricked me. You tricked me. Read on.
And the king said unto her, Be not afraid, for what sawest thou? And the woman said unto Saul, I saw God ascending out of the earth. And he said unto her, What form is he of? And she said, An old man cometh up, and he is covered with a mantle. And Saul perceived that it was Samuel. And he stood with his face to the ground and bowed himself.
Stooped.
And Samuel said to Saul, Why hast thou disquieted me to bring me up? And Saul answered.
So we see that he said disquieted. There's a difference then. So that means he was resting in what? Peace. Right. Then you don't mess with my rest. You don't woke me up from my nap. You see that? So we don't know people resting in peace. But we saw that Samuel was. But you can't say that to everybody.
He was having kingdom dreams.
Right. He was chilling. Nigga, you brought me back for this earthly crap. I'm beyond that now. Nigga, what do you want? You know what I'm saying? What do you want? Read on.
And Saul answered, I am sore distressed, for the Philistines make war against me.
That's it? Read on.
And Yahweh is departed from me, and answers me no more, neither by prophets nor by dreams. Therefore I have called thee, that thou mayest make known unto me what I shall do. Then said Samuel, wherefore then dost thou ask of me, seeing the Lord is departed from thee, and is become thine enemy?
Keep going.
And the Lord hath done to him as he spake by me. For the Lord hath rent the kingdom out of thine hand, and given it to thy neighbor, even to David.
So all that's revealed now. Go on.
Because thou obeyest not the voice of the Lord, nor executest his fierce wrath upon Amalek. Therefore hath the Lord done this thing unto thee this day. Moreover, the Lord will also deliver Israel with thee into the hands of the Philistines. And tomorrow shalt thou and thy sons be with me, and the Lord also shall deliver the host of Israel unto the hand of the Philistines.
So, what's the second witness scripture of 3:18 about woe to them that want to see the day of the Lord?
What is it to you?
Right. So we see right here, Saul got his answers right then.
Right.
Woe to him, woe to no nigga. You think you worried about the Philistines? Nigga, you gonna be with me tomorrow. You and your sons.
Right.
It's over for you, dude.
Exactly.
You worried about the Philistines for this and all that you. I'll see you tomorrow, Saul. Maybe. Because where I'm at, I'm resting. You know what I'm saying? I'm resting. All right, now let's hop to this Esther real quick to tie this story up. This is why what Daniel had brought out made me think, like, hold on, go back, Uriah, look at this. So these two verses, we're going to see how this ties in together of Saul not killing Agag. If Saul would have killed Agag, would have killed Agag, then this problem that's coming up, we wouldn't have not have had. I was like, man, that's beautiful how you showed that through there.
What chapter is it?
3:1 and 9:24. And after this, we're going to jump into the New Testament for a few short ones. And then we're going to get these last two in. We'll be done. Esther chapter 3. I think so.
Reading in the book of Esther, chapter 3 and verse 1. It reads, after these things did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite.
See that? Right there. This cat Haman, who was the son of, you say, Agagite. Right?
Yeah, Agagite.
Agagite. Haman and Agag. The person that Saul was, the king that Saul was supposed to slay. This is his descendant. Read on.
And advanced him and set his seat above all the princes that were with him.
So Haman at this time was in the army, but he got a promotion to the big house. All right, he's in the cabinet now. He got a little power, right? Now look at 9 and and
29.
24.
24. The book of Esther, chapter 9, and verse 24. Because Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the enemy of all the Jews.
He was the enemy. This Haman was the enemy of all the Jews. Read on.
Had devised against the Jews to destroy them, and had cast pure, that is, the lot, to consume them and to destroy them.
Okay, so because at this time when Haman was trying to, he hated us. And this was a time where he had the power and we had the close proximity of all of us being together. And he said, I can get all them niggas at once and wipe them off the face of the earth. If Saul would have killed Agag, Haman would have never been. And if it wasn't for the Most High's intervention, we would have been done.
Right.
So you see that? All for Saul. Saul almost cost us our lives. Our lives. Let's keep moving. We're going to Luke 22, verses 1 through 6. Yeah, we finna roll on up out of here now, y'all. Boy, and you know, when I was talking to y'all earlier about the Bible, the books, His Word being living and breathing, whew, I can't wait to get to this 1 Peter, because I actually, that chapter, being read in a different perspective, when we get there, y'all just remember we're gonna start looking at characteristics. I started reading this and study and say, wait a minute, this is the characteristics. Because we finna get to Lil Willie, y'all. We finna get to Lil Willie. But that 1 Peter, that's the characteristics. We're gonna be like, let's look at the characteristics of a Lil Willie that got in. Read on.
Yeah, I got you.
Come forth.
In the book of Luke, chapter 22, verse 1. Now the feast of unleavened bread drew nigh, which is called the Passover. And the chief priests and scribes sought how they might kill him, for they feared the people.
Then, say it like that.
Then interceded into Judas certain Iscariot, being of the number of the 12. And he went his way, and communed with the chief priests and captains, how he might betray him unto them.
So, Judas on his own. Then Satan entered into him to go talk to who? Satan's other people. Satan said it. My old people, the Jews. I stirred them up. So Judas, now he done with the Messiah, seeing that he ain't gonna do what he wanted him to do. Judas like, I'm gonna make some money off of it. So when Satan entered into him, he said, I'm gonna go to them. I know y'all want to kill him. Let's make a plan. See that? On his own. Judas.
How much you gonna give me?
Right. If he ain't gonna do what I need him to do, I'm gonna sell this nigga out. See, so y'all see that? The predestination before the world, that these people would be who they were, that the people who are righteous would be who they were, it was predetermined before the world. Judas in his own heart said, I'm gonna go sell him out. Because he wasn't doing what he wanted to do anyway. Satan just got in there and it's gonna pop this off. It's gonna pop this off and get it started. So he went to them and they devised the plan how they might get him, right? Let's read on. We almost done with that.
5. And they were glad and covenanted to give him money. And he promised and sought opportunity to betray him unto them in the absence of the multitude.
So, see, we're going to set him out. We're going to catch him by himself. Because it said right there in the beginning that the priests feared the people. The Sadducees and Pharisees in the beginning of this, it says that they feared the people because the people what? Loved him. The people followed him. They had their own plan. He messing with our pockets. He messing with our money. We ain't getting paid no more. We got to get rid of him. The people loved him and they feared the people. So just like this, Judas say, I'm going to set him up. We're going to catch him away from the people. We're going to get him away from the people. I'm going to ride with him. I'm going to see, and I'm going to peep game, and I'm going to set this up, and I'm going to let y'all know. This how I win y'all get him. For them 30 shekels. See, he hated him himself. They hated him. And they were confederate together against our Messiah. Read on. Oh, the next one, Luke. After Luke, that was Judas. Now we're looking at, in John 7:5, it says that his own brothers didn't believe in him. Okay? So we don't have to read that. But that John 7:5 was the fact that the Messiah's own brothers, didn't believe him. Didn't believe who he was. So we see that faith, or lack thereof, even in the close proximity of his own household. Like he said, I come to set households at variance. I come to put enmity between these two things. This is what's going to happen. And we see for true that his own brothers didn't believe in who he was. Because he was a baby boy. Now that's just that little nigga. They never did give consideration to him. He ain't my brother. He ain't my brother. He ain't come on my mama womb. He ain't my brother. You see, y'all know niggas like that? They still don't accept that they people. That's my dad. That's my mama. But y'all are family. Read on. So where we at? I had John 10. Okay, let's get this 1 Peter. We're gonna go and wrap this up, y'all. We're gonna get this 1 Peter all. And we're gonna read chapter 20 in the book of Nicodemus. And then we're gonna read chapter 81, 1 through 45 in Jasher. And then we get the prayer on.
1 through 45?
Yep. 1 Peter 4 and all. Now, like I was just saying, that y'all, this is the characteristics. When I was reading this, it was showing me that that person that we didn't looked at all these examples of people that were righteous, and we looked at the wicked. What we get ready to look at now is the wicked becoming righteous. That's what we're getting ready to see the rest of the wicked becoming righteous.
1 Peter what verse?
1 Peter chapter 4, verse 1. The whole chapter.
Chapter 4, verse 1 on out. For as much then as Christ hath suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourself likewise with the same mind. For he that has suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin, that he no longer shall live the rest of his time in the flesh to lust of men, but to the will of God. For the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles, when we walk in lasciviousness, lust, excessive wine, revelling, banqueting, and abominable idolatry.
All right, so here, let me run this through again. I don't want to mention y'all, I was in 1 Corinthians instead of 1 Peter. So, for as much as Christ hath suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. For he that hath suffered in the flesh hath ceased from sin. Okay? That's for us. Because Christ suffered in the flesh, but he was never a sinner. But he set that example, that he was the flesh, and he suffered. We have suffered in the flesh, and why we're here today is because we ceased from sin. We came out of that suffering. We came out of that sin. So to be like him, that's where we are, right? These are characteristics of Lil Willie. Read on.
Wherein they think it strange that you run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you.
See, so now that you done left excess of rioting, they think it's strange. They say this nigga ain't cool no more. He don't hang out with us no more. He don't do drive-by shootings with us no more. He don't rob liquor stores with us no more. This nigga go to church. See that? But they mad at you for coming out instead of coming out with you. Instead of coming out with you, because you're that example. Because did you just walk away from them and not say, hey, I done found something, come with me? You didn't turn your back on your friend's cold turkey. Nigga, I'm done with you. No, come with me. Come with me. Right? Read on. 5.
Who shall give account to him that is ready to judge the quick and the dead? For this cause was the gospel preached also to them that are dead, that they might be judged according to the flesh, according to men in the flesh, but live according to God in the spirit.
You see, so right there it says, for this cause was the gospel preached also to them that were dead. That was you talking to the dead. The gospel. Come on out. Come on out. Read on.
But the end of all things is at hand. But ye therefore sober. Be ye therefore sober, and watch unto prayer. And above all things, have fervent charity among yourselves. For charity shall cover the multitude of sins. Use hospitality one to another without grudging. As every man has received a gift, even so minister the same one to another, as good stewards of the manifold grace of God. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of God. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which God giveth.
You see, it says the ability which God giveth. That means don't try to do more than you can. Because if you can't get to it's the Lord that gives you that level.
Right.
Don't try to get over that. Read on.
That God in all things may be glorified through Jesus Christ, to whom he praised and
be praised.
To whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen. Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange things happen unto you.
So he said right there when he said beloved, he's talking to his people by calling them beloved. He didn't say devils. So by him talking to his people, he say, think not of this strange thing when that fiery trial comes to you. Because he's letting you know, you have to recognize it, that it's coming from the Lord, not the devil. That fiery trial that comes to you, read that again. There he said, I'll do it. Beloved, think it not a strange thing concerning that fiery trial, which is to you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. Right? Now read on, he explained. But rejoice.
But rejoice is as much as ye are partakers of Christ, suffering, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. If ye be reproached for the name of Christ, happy are ye, for the Spirit of glory and of God resteth upon you. On their part he is evil spoken of, but on your part he is glorified. But let none of you suffer as a murderer, or as a thief, or as an evildoer, or as a busybody in other men's matters.
These people that he's talking about, they ain't came out of that, but they're still that.
Right. Okay.
He said, don't let you suffer as one of these.
Right.
They're still there. That's why they're still called murderers.
Law breaker.
Busybodies in other men's affairs. Okay? He said, don't you be like that. Read on.
Yet, if any man suffer as a Christian,
Christ follower.
let him not be ashamed, but let him glorify God on his behalf. For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of God. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of God? And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear?
See, we still looking at comparison. And he's still talking about, and started out, beloved. Beloved. And if they barely gonna make it, where should you, what is left for them that ain't even tried? See, they ain't even tried. That don't care. They don't care. Read on.
Wherefore, let them that suffer according to the will of God commit the keeping of their souls to him in well-doing, as unto a faithful creator.
Okay. Now, let's hit this, is that Nicodemus 20?
That's what you had said.
Yeah, okay. That's what y'all there for, to remind me. Nicodemus chapter 20.
89.
I got 80, 87 of them. Yep, we
Oh, my
have.
bad. I'm on 22.
We have 14 verses here, and in the other one, we out.
Nicodemus, chapter 20. I'm still finna say 22. Chapter 20, verse 1. Then the Lord, holding Adam by the hand, delivered him to Michael the archangel, and he led them into paradise, filled with mercy and glory.
Okay, so right here in this book, we just went through this, all right, so, I pray that y'all be familiar with the fact, but this is when the 5.5 days had expired, when the Messiah went down into hell, the grave, and got Adam and brought him out. Okay? So this is that time. This is between, excuse me, y'all. He hadn't ascended yet. Arose yet. This is while he's in the grave. So when he died on the cross and he went down into hell and conquered it, when he conquered hell, this is him bringing Adam out. All right, read on. Verse 2.
And two very ancient men met them and were asked by the saints, who are ye? Who have not yet been with us in hell, and have had your bodies placed in paradise?
Now I broke that off earlier, so now we're reading. Read on.
One of them answering said, I am Enoch, who was translated by the word of Yahweh. And this man who is with me is Elijah, the Tishbite, who was translated in a fiery chariot. Here we have hitherto been, and have not tasted death, but are now about to return at the coming of the Antichrist, being armed with divine signs and miracles, to engage with him in battle, and to be slain by him at Jerusalem, and to be taken up alive again into the clouds after 3 days and a half. And while the whole...
Real quick. Y'all see here in this 4 that he said, we have hitherto been and have not tasted death, but are now about to return at the coming of Antichrist. They're saying this like this finna happen in a minute then, right? They're in the time of the Lord. They're not in this realm. They're not at this time. This time that we live in is not their time. And they're saying right now, we about ready to go down here because the Antichrist is finna show up. They said that then. Now see, read it. It said we are about to return. If they weren't about to return, and it was this close, they wouldn't have been saying, we about to do this. About to do this is close, is near. They didn't say, after such happened, then we gonna go do this. No, they said it then. We about to. Y'all don't get that mistaken. We about to. All right? Read on.
Verse 5. And while the holy Enoch and Elijah were relating this, behold, there came another man in a miserable figure, carrying the sign of a cross upon his shoulder.
So this was the genesis of little Willie getting in. The thief on the cross. This is the one that all his life, he was a thief. All his life. We don't want to be like little Willie and get in at the last minute and say, but we still got in. That's a heck of a chance to take with your salvation and your very soul. Waiting to the last minute. But we know it was the thief on the cross that did get in was the one that told his partner not to mess with them when they was coming through when Christ was an infant.
He got that mercy back.
Right, so we familiar with that story that this is because Mary herself said it. You gonna be with my son in paradise for what you did. Right. So now we're reading him getting in here, and let's see this.
Verse 6. And when all the saints saw him, they said to him, who art thou? For thy countenance is like a thief.
So it was shown in his face that he was a thief. He did that much thieving that after he was dead and gone, he still looked like a thief. See what I'm saying? He still looked like a thief, and he was bowled over, they said. And he had his countenance, and he was carrying the sign of the cross. Read on.
And why dost thou carry the cross upon thy shoulders? To which he answering said, ye say right, for I was a thief who committed all sorts of wickedness upon the earth. And the Jews crucified me with Yahushua. And I observed the surprising things which happened in the creation at the crucifixion of the Lord Yahushua. And I believed him to be the creator of all things and the Almighty King. And I prayed to him, saying, Lord, Lord, remember me when thou comest unto thy kingdom. He presently regarded my supplication and said to me, verily I say unto thee, this day thou shalt be with me in paradise. And he gave me this sign of the cross, saying, carry this and go to paradise. And if the angel who is the guard of paradise will not admit thee, show him the sign of the cross, and say unto him, Yahushua Mashiach, who is now crucified, has sent me hither to thee.
See, so that's what I love about that. The word of the Lord told him, go that way to paradise and carry the sign of the cross. And if he gives you some problem at the front door, You see that? That's the part I like. If he give you some problems at the front door, not the back door, he sent them to the front door. If he give you some problems, show him this sign to get you in. Because everybody else said, look at this. He look like a thief. How you get up here? He ain't supposed to be here. He's not supposed to be here. Read on.
And he gave me a sign to carry the cross, saying, carry this. I read that. We're on 12. When I did this and told the angel who is the guard of paradise, all these things, and he heard them, he presently opened the gates, introduced me, and placed me on the right hand in paradise.
Okay.
Saying, stay here a little time till Adam, the father of all mankind, shall enter in, and all his sons, who are the holy and righteous servants of Yahweh Mashiach, who were crucified.
So first of all, he wasn't a holy and righteous servant, the thief. So the angel said, all right, come on in, but stand over here. He introduced, who did he introduce him to? If they ain't got there yet, there's only other angels around. Just like at an event, you got an angel over there, you got an angel over there, you got an angel over there. It ain't started yet, but they're hosting the event, so they're there, right? And here come the thief. Hey y'all, listen up. There's a thief at the door. He introduced them. But then you can't go in here. You gotta stay over here with me. So he kept him like when you people take tickets and you going in the door, he's standing right there at the door, over in the corner, out the way. You gotta stay over here out the way till the party gets started and we let you in. But we let you in the door out the cold. You in paradise. This nigga made it in before Adam. You see what I'm saying? He never tasted that death to go down into hell. He made a right turn right behind the Messiah. He was behind the Messiah when he yielded up the ghost. Messiah said, I'm going down here to handle this business. You go that way. He never went down. Just like Enoch and Elijah, they never went down there. That's why Adam didn't know him. Who was you? That they met for the first time on the way to paradise. Y'all see how we talking about the Lord, y'all. But this is like everyday life for us. This is like a situation that we're all familiar with. That we done seen this type of situation in our lives. And we reading about it, and it's just as plain, as simple to us. Like, you understand this? Here he come. Adam say, wait a minute. We leaving here. Who are these two cats ahead of us that weren't there? And then the thief come through there too. That they ain't even been introduced yet. But he over there at the door. Adam ain't made it to paradise yet. But the thief is already there. He stole for a living. All his life, he admitted it. We up here for a reason. Didn't Jonah say, hey, toss me over the side? Right? Let's finish this part and then we're going to get this last one.
Verse 14. When they heard all this, when they heard all this account from the thief, all the patriarchs said with one voice, blessed be thou, Almighty Yahweh, the Father of everlasting goodness, and the Father of mercies, who has shown such favor to those who were sinners against him, and has brought them to the mercy of paradise, and has placed them in the amidst thy large and spiritual provisions, in a spiritual and holy life. Amen.
That thief made it in. All right, now, last one. Ooh, I've been wanting to bring this out for a long time, and the Lord showed me this time you can do it. This is the time and the place for these verses. We're in the book of Jasher. We're reading chapter 81. starting at verse 1, ending at 45, and the prayer is Psalm 83.
You got that already?
Yeah. No, yeah. Start at 1 through 45. It's on page 241.
Y'all got the same book?
No.
Oh, I sure thought it was.
I saw his cover and I seen yours. That's why I
Okay.
said that.
81 and 1 down to 45. This last cat we looking at is an ultimate mercy. I ain't saying he's saved. I ain't saying nobody was saved. I ain't saying nobody was condemned. It's not me to do that. We read the words. But it's based off of righteousness and unrighteousness, believers and unbelievers, God's people and Satan's people. Right? That's the divine. And he keeps telling us, don't worry about Satan's people. Worry about my people. Read on.
Reading in the book of Jasher, not Jasper. Chapter 81. We'll start our reading at verse 1. And it reads, And the children of Israel journeyed from Ramses to Succoth, about 600,000 men on foot, besides the little ones and their wives. Also, a mixed multitude went up with them, and flocks and herds, even much cattle. And the sojourning of the children of Israel, who dwelt in the land of Egypt in hard labor, was 210 years. And at the end of 210 years, the Most High brought forth the children of Israel from Egypt with a strong hand. And the children of Israel traveled from Egypt and from Goshen and from Ramses and encamped in Succoth on the 15th day of the first month.
Passover time.
And the Egyptians buried all their firstborn whom the Most High had smitten.
So I'm sorry, but y'all see this is a cleanup time for the Egyptians.
Right.
The children of Israel just left. So y'all, it's like they have a parade downtown on a Saturday, and then the news on Sunday showing you the people cleaning up the parade. And that's the Egyptians cleaning up their dead children. That's what that is. They clean it up after all their dead children and animals that the Most High just put that 10th plague down on. So this is how close we are to them coming up out of here. Read on.
And the Egyptians buried all their firstborn whom the Most High had smitten. And all the Egyptians buried their slain for 3 days. And the children of Israel traveled from Succoth and encamped in Etham at the end of the wilderness. And on the 3rd day after the Egyptians had buried their firstborn, many men rose up from Egypt and went after Israel to make them return to Egypt. For they repented that they had sent the Israelites away from their servitude.
They just they just realized that these niggas might not be coming back like they said. They said we going out here for 3 days. We've been burying dead bodies for 3 days, and these niggas ain't showed back up yet. I don't think they're coming. That's what that is. Read on.
Verse 9. And one man said to his neighbor, Surely Moses and Aaron spoke to Pharaoh, saying, We will go a 3 days journey into the wilderness and sacrifice to the Most High our God. Now therefore, let us rise up early in the morning and cause them to return. And it shall be that if they return with us to Egypt to their masters, then shall we know that there is faith in them. But if they will not return, then will we fight with them and make them come back with great power and a strong hand. And all the nobles of Pharaoh rose up in the morning, and with them about 700,000 men.
700,000 men in Egypt. These are men. 700,000 of them.
You know, and that's funny because I remember they say that the Hebrews had borrowed stuff from the Egyptians, and they thought they was coming back in 3 days. I'm like, how you gonna loan somebody something and they ain't coming back?
Right.
They thought they were coming.
And then I was just thought about these 700,000 men. Look, it's how many of us in here? And we talking about gathering 700,000 men on the next day to go out and get them. They ain't had no technology to make phone calls and put it on TV and stuff like that. They gathered all these people together all in one day. They say they supposed to be back.
Right.
And they ain't back yet, so now we got to go get them. So tomorrow, that conversation had to happen the day before tomorrow together for 7,000 people to show up. 700,000. Yeah. Good catch. Read on.
And they went forth from Egypt on that day, and came to the place where the children of Israel were. And all the Egyptians saw, and behold, Moses and Aaron, and all the children of Israel were sitting before Hiroth, eating and drinking and celebrating the feast of the Most High.
So that's how they found them. Like, these niggas out here kicking it. Coming back ain't even on their mind. Ain't no bags packed that you see that they ready to come back. They over there kicking it. Read. Hoo-dee-hoo.
And all the Egyptians said to the children of Israel, surely you said, we will go a journey for 3 days in the wilderness and sacrifice to our Elohim and return. Now, therefore, this day, make 5 days since you went. Why do you not return to your masters? And Moses and Aaron answered them, saying, because the Most High, our Elohim, has testified in us, saying, you shall no more return to Egypt, but we will betake ourselves to a land flowing with milk and honey, as the Most High, our power, had sworn to our ancestors to give to us.
So we changed our mind. Our God said we ain't coming back. And because he said it, we ain't coming. We ain't even thinking about y'all no more. We done with y'all. We are done with y'all. Our captivity is over. Because he said it. He said it. Don't go back.
Put your mouth on the phone.
Yep. Boy, that was good. Read on.
Verse 16. And when the nobles of Egypt saw that the children of Israel did not hearken to them to return to Egypt, they girded themselves to fight with Israel. And the Most High strengthened the hearts of the children of Israel over the Egyptians. And they gave them a severe beating. And the battle was sore upon the Egyptians.
They got thumped up.
And all the Egyptians fled from before the children of Israel, for many of them perished by the hand of Israel.
700,000 got whooped.
Right.
They got thumped up. They thought they was coming out there strong. Oh, come on.
Verse 18. And the nobles of Pharaoh went to Egypt and told Pharaoh, saying, the children of Israel have fled and will no more return to Egypt. And in this manner did Moses and Aaron speak to us. And Pharaoh heard this thing, and his heart and the hearts of all his subjects were turned against Israel.
Pharaoh was like, say what? they ain't coming back. We don't.
They got our stuff.
Yeah. And they repented that they had sent Israel. And all the Egyptians advised Pharaoh to pursue the children of Israel to make them come back to their burdens. And when they said, each man to his brother, what is this which we have done, that we have sent Israel from our servitude?
We done tripped.
And the Most High strengthened the hearts of all the Egyptians to pursue the Israelites, for the Most High desired to overthrow the Egyptians in the Red Sea. And Pharaoh rose up and harnessed his chariot, and he ordered all the Egyptians to assemble. Not one man was left excepting the little ones and the women.
So he strengthened the hearts of the Egyptians to make them get up, because he was doing this to prove himself. So he made all of them be like, they ain't coming back? Oh no, we all going out. He strengthened their hearts to pursue them, to come after them hard. Read on.
Verse 23. And all the Egyptians went forth with Pharaoh to pursue the children of Israel. And the camp of Egypt was an exceedingly large and heavy camp, about 100,000 men. That's a million, isn't it?
Yeah, million men. I'm glad you
Well, they took 700 the last time.
Y'all
took 700,000 the last time we got booked.
A million.
Verse 24. And the whole of this camp went and pursued the children of Israel to bring them back to Egypt. And they reached them encamping by the Red Sea. And the children of Israel lifted up their eyes and beheld all the Egyptians pursuing them.
1 million people coming after them at one time, and they're at the sea. Where they gonna run? You know, 1 million people, that's a wall that you can't run around. So he done got 1 million of them coming after him, and they're already by the seaside, so where else they gonna run to? Read on.
And the children of Israel were greatly terrified at them. And the children of Israel cried to the Most High. And on account of the Egyptians, the children of Israel divided themselves into 4 divisions. And they were divided in their opinions, for they were afraid of the Egyptians. And Moses spoke to each of them.
Ooh, man, wait till y'all see this. I ain't thought about this till I first read it. Wait till y'all see the difference in this. It's gonna make it proud. Read on.
Verse 27. The first division was of the children of Reuben, Simeon, and Issachar. And they resolved to cast themselves into the sea, for they were exceedingly afraid of the Egyptians.
So Reuben, Simeon, and Issachar's people, they were so scared, they were gonna kill themselves, throw themselves in the sea. There's 1 million people coming after us, and not only there's the other 11 tribes, but these are our tribes here that together, they said, we ain't gonna make it. So all of their 3 tribes was gonna just jump off into the sea and kill themselves like them lemmings. Read on.
Verse 28. And Moses said to them, fear not, stand still and see the salvation of the Most High, which he will effect this day for you. The second division was of the children of Zebulun, Benjamin, and Naphtali. And they resolved to go back to Egypt with the Egyptians.
Okay, so they was going to throw themselves in the sea, commit suicide because they scared. These niggas say, put the chains back on us. Put the chains back on us. We'll go on back into captivity, and we'll start building on them pyramids again without straw. We'll do that because we don't want to die. Right? Keep reading.
And Moses said to them, fear not, for as you have seen the Egyptian this day, so shall you see them no more forever. The third division was of the children of Judah.
Who?
Judah.
Who?
Judah.
Who?
Judah.
Hope try. Let's read.
The third division was of the children of Judah and Joseph. And they resolved to go to meet the Egyptians to fight with them.
Y'all know Judah ain't no punk. Y'all know Judah ain't no punk. Judah say, hey, let's handle this. Let's handle this. All 1 million of them. All 1 million of them. Folk try. They stay out there, folk try. Let's get him. Let's get him. All time. Let's read. Let's read.
Hey, I feel like I need to fight somebody.
Verse 32. And Moses said to them, stand in your places, for the Most High will fight for you.
Oh,
And
shucks.
you shall remain silent. And the fourth division was of the children of Levi, Gad, and Asher. And they resolved to go into the midst of the Egyptians to confound them. And Moses said to them, remain in your stations and fear not. Only call unto the Most High, that he may save you out of their hands. After this, Moses rose up from amidst the people, and he prayed to the Most High and said, O Master Yah of the whole earth, save now thy people, whom thou didst bring forth from Egypt, and let not the Egyptians boast the power and might are theirs. So the Most High said to Moses, why dost thou cry unto me?
No, wait. Now, at this time, it's on the line. Oh, Lord, God of the earth. What you crying to me for? Huh? What you crying to me for? What else is he supposed to do?
But y'all got to
You know what I'm
understand,
saying?
they just defeated 700,000.
Right.
Exactly.
There's only 300,000 more.
That's it.
And then it reminded me like when I was young, the first time my sinuses ever clogged up and I could not breathe out of my nose. I'm at that age, right? I go to who? My father. I can't breathe. My father said, nigga, ain't nothing to be crying about. And it stopped me in the chat. I mean, I'm talking about I'm a child, but to him to say that it stopped me like, I'm telling you I can't breathe. And you're telling me I shouldn't be crying about it? You know, that's the thing. I couldn't breathe. I wasn't thinking about breathing out my mouth. I just knew my nose didn't work no more. And I'm sitting there like this. I can't breathe. Nigga, ain't nothing for you to be crying about. That's exactly how he said that to me. And I just stopped. All of that just went away from me. It's like, wait a minute. Now I just told my father now I can't breathe. And he tells me I shouldn't be crying. You know, so here we are with Moses and the Most High. Oh Lord, what you crying to me for? Right up here. It's like, if I ain't doing nothing for you yet, in all this time, you crying to me. But you got it. Right. And see, look what he said. He said, I told you that I was going to make you a god to Pharaoh. You see how he said that? He said, I told you I was going to make you a god to Pharaoh. And you've already been made a god to Pharaoh. You've already shown your godness to Pharaoh. We done already been through that, Mo. What you crying to me for? Read on.
Breathe through your mouth.
If you're talking, you can breathe.
Right. Why you cry? Verse 36. So the Most High said to Moses, why dost thou cry unto me? Speak to the children of Israel that they shall proceed. And do thou stretch out thy rod upon the sea and divide it. And the children of Israel shall pass through it. And Moses did so. And he lifted up his rod upon the sea and divided it. And the waters of the sea were divided into 12 parts.
How many parts?
12 parts.
How many parts? 12 parts.
Not one.
12 parts. One for each of the 12 tribes of Israel. 12, yeah, that's right. That's why we reading this. Hey, no, we thought it was one. No, we reading it today, and it's 12 of them. 12 parts he divided the Red Sea. Each tribe had their own part.
Richard, not what you going to do.
They had their own lane. Had their own. Now we talk about imagining seeing it open up at one time, but can you imagine now standing there seeing it open up 12 roads across?
That's right.
12 roads of dry land went across there.
That's right.
12 for each and 12. That's how he loved us. Now y'all ain't got to be all bunched up in there like that.
Everybody take their own.
Stay in your own lane. They're your own lanes. Stay your own lanes. Read on.
And the waters of the sea were divided into 12 parts. And the children of Israel passed through on foot with shoes, as a man would pass through a prepared road.
A prepared road. A prepared road. Read on.
Verse 39.
Last 2, 3.
And the Most High manifested to the children of Israel his wonders in Egypt and in the sea by the hand of Moses and Aaron. And when the children of Israel had entered the sea, the Egyptians came after them, and the waters of the sea resumed upon them, and they all sank in the water, and not one man was left excepting Pharaoh.
Got one more for you after 9.
Who gave thanks to the Most High and believed in him.
Read that over again. Start right back where it was. Read that part again.
And not one man was left excepting Pharaoh, who gave thanks to the Most High and believed in him. Therefore, the Most High did not cause him to perish at that time with the Egyptians. And the Most High ordered an angel to take him from amongst the Egyptians and cast him upon the land of Nineveh, and he reigned over it for a long time.
I'll see that. That mercy. The mercy. Most High had mercy even on Pharaoh in the end and set him, because he what? He believed on him. He believed. If he didn't believe on him, he'd have been in the sea. His life would have been over. But because he believed on him, the Lord say, yes, Pharaoh, I got you too. Just like the people on the boat that came to believe on him that day, Pharaoh believed on him that day, and the Lord had mercy on him. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
You see 1 million people perish and you don't believe.
Right. 83. All right, y'all. Woo, that was beautiful. 5:40. It's almost 6 o'clock. No.
You're going to be cutting the lights off in a second.
That's superior. You know how I used to do, man. People come in, man. I bring it back out.
All right, guys.
Real.
Yep.
Everybody good?
Yeah. So I don't do that though. Bring it out.
Are we gonna get this closed with prayer? With the Most High's permission, in the name of his only beloved and begotten Son, our Lord and Savior, Jesus the Christ. We're gonna read in the book of Psalms, in the 83rd chapter, and it reads, keep not thy silence, O Yah. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have holpen the children of Lot. Selah.
Selah.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin at the brook of Kishon, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb and like Zeeb, yea, all their princes as Zebah and as Zalmunna, who said, let us take ourselves the house of Yah in possession. O my Elohim, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind.
That's right.
As the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm.
That's right.
Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Yahweh. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone
That's right.
is Jehovah,
That's right.
art the most high over all the earth.
Hallelujah!
If y'all got a shekel or two.